Here we go. Zach.
Oh shit! How much time?
We're live.
Wait, right this second?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Yes.
What? What's going on, everybody? Welcome and thank you for joining us for anything and everything rock and roll. Of course, with a little bit of ADD. I'm Zach.
I'm TJ.
And I'm Robin.
And you're listening to Rock Detention.
I don't feel tardy.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Always good. Hey, boys.
Robin, how are you?
Yeah, Robin. How are you?
If I zoomed my camera out, you'd just see that my floor is just littered with everything that was on my desk, because about 10 minutes before we're supposed to go live, I spilled water all over everything. So, my roommates thought maybe I'd, broken something, because I was like, I, screamed out loud. So,
are you saying you were a little bit angry?
Little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah,
well,
so we're here. We're on. We're live. It's working.
It's all happy Robins now. What's new in everyone's world? TJ, you just got back from somewhere.
Las Vegas.
One of my favorite cities in the world.
It was a blast. And I golfed. Never golfed in Nevada before. Or Vegas, for that matter.
Righteous.
I recommend it.
Okay.
I didn't golf very well, but I had fun.
Did you get a bogey?
I might have gotten a bogey. The rest was about triple, quadruple, 18 bogey.
Are you proud of me for knowing the bogey thing?
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay. Well,
that's like the most sports talk I've ever heard out of you.
Hey, man. Leave it to me. I do have, for those of you who were with us last week, I got a lot of backlash, backlash. That's the word. For not remembering Shel Silverstein. So I did some digging, and so it turns out I do know who that is. So Pauline, you can take everything back. All right, I had to get that out of there right quick. Cool. Let's see here. We did the intro. I asked how y'all were doing. I told y'all what's new. Reese is out of the way. Okay. Oh, I gotta plug something real quick, guys. Nailed It beer. I think they're out of Austin. They're for sure Texas born. Guys, this is a German chocolate cake stout. It is unreal. And I may or may not have spiked it with a shot or two of peanut butter whiskey. Woo! Very good. Just had to throw that out there.
I like that.
TJ, any Wayne's World plugs you'd like to make?
Bud Light Lime.
Where's your Celsius? I
don't have one. I drank it today.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, boys, let's get this going. Speaking of Las Vegas, our guest tonight, I met him in Las Vegas, and we'll get more into how we met, why we met, when we bring him on in a second. Just a grade A guy, unbelievable guitar player, awesome tone. He's from Jersey, so he's got that. He's got that Jersey feel. It's just a touch that he's got, But let me make sure I don't screw up any of this. So oh man, I'm in the run. This is what happens when you start late. Let's see here. I don't want to mess this up. So hold please. Let's see here. Alrighty. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Soul Juice Band, formerly the Bronx Wanderers, and so many more, live in New Jersey right now as we speak, please welcome my dear friend, Joe Bonasorte.
Hey, yay. What's up,
How was
guys?
that?
That was great.
That was pretty good.
You were going to do that. I thought you were kidding when you said you were going to do the voice.
What?
But you did the voice.
Why would I joke about that?
I don't know. You did the voice perfectly. I love it.
Shucks. Thank you, brother. So where are you right now? Are you still in Vegas?
No, I'm in Jersey right now. Everything in Vegas kind of just stopped, so I just been just hanging here with the family, hanging out with my son, trying to get as much side work done, like recording, writing stuff.
Sure. Yeah, dude, you're a daddy now. You weren't a daddy last
now.
time I was with you.
No, being a daddy is a new thing, and it's awesome, dude. I love it. It's great. It's really cool. It's a lot of work. It was a lot easier when he was born, because like he didn't really have to do much. He just cried and like he just stayed in one spot. You know, he just had him on in the crib or in the bed. He just stayed in one spot. But now he's like jumping off every platform he could find. And it's like you just have to constantly chase him around to make sure he doesn't hurt himself. It's very, very tiring.
I'm sure. I've got a little niece. She's almost 2, and she is
Okay, yeah, my son's the same age.
okay. Right.
Yeah,
When does he
about
turn
that.
2?
June 20th.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
he's like 6
yeah.
months
I
away.
know. I should have remembered that a little quicker, but
It's only been
Yeah.
2 birthdays. You're fine. You'll get it.
I
all the
know.
time.
Yeah, it takes me a little while to get used to things.
Good Lord. This is so good, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm not endorsed with this company, but
Yeah.
it's so delicious.
I've actually heard of that. I've heard of that beer, the Nailed It beer. How is it?
Bro,
Pretty.
Would you
Let
say?
me just
Would you
say-
say they nailed it? I was like, I'm gonna steal this from him. I know he's gonna try to make the pun. I'm just gonna steal it.
well, I'll tell you what. I was gonna make that pun, and you went and took it.
Yep.
But yes, Joe, they absolutely nailed it.
That's cool. Nice. Cheers.
And then
I'm drinking a good porter right now from Founders.
Righteous,
pretty
I'm
nice.
not familiar, but I like a good
Oh,
dark
it's great.
beer.
Yeah.
The peanut butter whiskey, obviously the real famous one is Screwball, which is lovely.
Yeah.
But this is a brand called Scatterbrain, and very happy with it. So yeah, it tastes like a Hershey's, not a Hershey's, a Reese's cup drink.
That's
Yeah, it's
pretty dope.
pretty good.
What is it? Is it still the same like percentage as the whiskey or like regular whiskeys, like 40% by
Oh,
volume or whatever?
shucks. You know what, dude? I don't even know. I just don't taste good, man. Come on.
Either way, it works. It works either way. I don't know. I get a little technical sometimes.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Let's see here. I already asked you how you were, right?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Doing all right, man. Just chilling. As
Cool.
well as I can be in these crazy times, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, okay. So what are you doing, to keep you going during a pandemic, musically wise?
Musically, so the Soul Juice band, right? So that we just finished like mixing and mastering the record. It's being pressed. There's going to be like a limited amount of vinyls actually, which I thought was kind of badass. I was like, wow, really? Cool. And I think the plan is that we're going to be releasing singles in probably a couple weeks, and then probably release the record in early April. And then so I decided to just kind of get a head start on writing, really. So like I just been kind of like just whenever I can, I just set my recording stuff up, just try to get as many ideas as I can, just to kind of get, that's the only
Sure.
thing. Usually I'd be learning music, playing shows everywhere, but there's no shows, as you know.
Understandable.
You know.
Is Soul Juice? So that's an all original band.
Yeah, partly. I mean, we still do the regular shows that are, like the Vegas shows that are 3 hours where you're just doing just covers
Okay.
of a lot of stuff, So we still kind of do that, but it's not the typical down the middle kind of covers, Like it's more in the style of Soul Juice, which is like rootsy, funky, soul, heavy
Okay.
bluesish, mixed with like a little hard rock. Anything I get involved with, I seem to kind of add like a hard rock edge, even if I totally don't want to. Like it just somehow kind of works out that way. For some
Dude,
reason.
I am very guilty of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, even me being in Nashville now, I might play some softer country gigs and may or may not still have some high gain distortion on there. And by may not, I absolutely may do. So it's in my DNA, man. It's so fun.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You could approach it that way too, because like the distortion has so many different varieties of it and so many different tones of distortion
Sure.
that sometimes you can go, if you're playing like authentic blues, you can go a little heavier
Sure.
than what you normally hear,
Sure.
and it would still be in the same like realm of tasteful. But it could very easily go. I always thought over the other way, where like I've gotten comments like that where people are like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you playing like fucking metal and like, what are you doing?" I'm like, what do
And
you
when
mean?
absolutely, man, when I am doing the bluesy stuff, I do sometimes feel a little guilty when I have too much gain on it. Especially if it's like
Yeah.
Stevie Ray.
Yeah, yeah. I tend to feel guilty if I'm throwing like too much shreddy stuff into it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, I always kind of have that voice in my head, like, you should really fucking like hang back, dude. Like I have that going on sometimes when I'm like soloing.
Hey, as I'm getting older, I've noticed I play less notes, and I'm trying to dial the gain back. So
Yeah.
guess it's a maturity thing. I don't know. I don't feel very mature.
What do you use like gain wise? Like, what do you like? You get your distortion from your amp, right? Or
Yes.
you use pedals too, or no?
For distortion, not really, man. I mean, obviously, I love the EVH stuff. And
Yeah, dude, that stuff sounds good. No matter, like, you just take it out of the box, plug it in, and it's spectacular.
Oh, dude,
All
you
around.
put everything at 12 o'clock, and it's great.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say on the third channel, it's a little hot for me, so I bring the gain down quite a bit on channel 3.
Right. Yeah.
But that blue
yeah.
channel is the sweet spot, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, he nailed it with that.
So speaking of gear, you saying you're doing a lot of recording at home right now. I want to know about your recording rig when you're doing this stuff at home, your live rig, and then your fly rig, because those are 3 different rigs most of the time.
Totally. Yeah, totally. So the recording stuff, I just got a Apollo Twin, which is very cool. I'm very new to this. I'm very new to this whole recording thing. Like, I always made my money just playing live.
Sure.
And if I ever had to record stuff, it was always like, yo, just show up to the studio. You know what I mean? And it's like, I had the disposal of whatever pretty much I needed. Any producer was like, every producer has the 5150.
Sure.
1 or 2, right?
And a JCM 800.
Right, exactly. Or a JCM 2000 at least, something like that. I had one guy that I worked with that had a Jubilee reissue that was like, and I love Marshalls, but I tended to kind of gravitate away from them quite a bit, Now I stick with a lot of Mesa amps I use.
Right on. So they just got bought by Gibson.
By Gibson, yeah. And I was kind of, dude, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's awesome, because I've been playing the Gibson through Mesas for, I mean, at least maybe 7-8 years now straight.
Sure.
I haven't really deviated much from it. But yeah, it's pretty much the recording stuff. I'm trying to figure out, kind of experimenting with different plugins and what to use. I kind of like the stuff in Logic though. It doesn't.
Robin is a big Logic guy. What's that smile?
Yeah. That's what I use. Yeah, that's like, I only really use anything else when I'm paid to use something else.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, everybody was telling me to get it.
It's just
like,
super
go the
intuitive.
Logic route.
It's
very.
When people are like, "Oh man, what button do I press to record?" R. Like, it's just
oh really?
It's just that intuitive, the way that they set things up. Whereas like Pro Tools is 3 on the number pad, which I guess, if you're where your hands are, that makes sense. It's right there at the edge of the keyboard. But to me, 3 on the number pad made no sense. I was like, why? Why put this
Right,
there?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the stuff within Logic is just constantly blowing my mind, because I'll sit there and I'll start going through the keyboards and I'm going, man, this is for demoing and writing and doing all of that stuff. I don't know if I'd use it all on the final product kind of a thing, but
Right.
But for writing and everything, it's perfect. It's just got everything right there within it. And only recently did I get out of the guitar tones, and I bought Positive Grid's bias effects. And so that's what I'm
Bias
using
Effects
for
2.
Bias. Okay, whatever. Bias Effects 2. And that was, and only because I started to get a little bit more nitpicky with what I was looking for. And I wanted to be able to manipulate the sound a little bit more and more in depth with the guitars.
Right.
Because I'm not a guitar player, I'm a drummer primarily, and so I'm trying to like recreate what I'm hearing in my head. Or I heard this really cool song when none of the amps in Logic are getting it, so I wanted to get a little bit more. But other than that, no. And the drummer in Logic is like it's put me out of business. I don't play my own drums on my demos anymore. I just sit there and manipulate that thing.
I'm a drummer as well, and I tend to find that I'm using the drummer thing in Logic a lot more than me just programming, which kind of like I kind of feel a little guilty because I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, come on, dude, just do it. Like you're just being lazy, just do it. But then the other part is like, no, dude, you don't have to.
Yeah, well, it's
done.
Because a lot of times,
it's done already.
If you're laying down demos, the drums don't need to be exactly what's going to be on the final product.
Right. It's a demo. It's just a rough idea. Sketch.
If you need to create something relatively unique, like, okay, I want this kind of a rhythm, it's not hard to just open up another track and just play it in on your keyboard real quick and then just copy and paste over and over again.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I love Logic.
I heard a lot about that positive grid stuff. I actually gotta check that out because you hear a lot of guys go the Kemper route. You hear a lot of guys go the Axe Effects also thing.
Sure.
I
love it.
Cool. I like it.
I've got a lot of friends that use the Helix. He was the one.
That thing too.
He was the one that got me into positive grid. Zach was the one that was like, "Oh, you should check this out." So
I used positive grid on the Rock of Ages tour last year.
Okay.
And I had their little mini rack, dude. It's one space and it's a half rack. I mean, it fits in a little satchel, you know. Of course it was rack mounted, and I mean the entire rig was in like a 5-space rack, you know. Backup, my guitar, other guitar player, bass, and then a little thing, a little tube preamp for the acoustic. You know, it's a no-brainer, man.
That's perfect.
And it's all direct out, and it sounded great in my ears, you know. I mean, sure, I'd love to have that behind me every night, but it doesn't make sense, you know, on, you know, you got blow and go, you know, get to the next city.
Right. Yeah. There used to be a time where it was a lot more noticeable, and I noticed like probably as far back as maybe 2015, 2014-ish, it started becoming a lot harder to distinguish what was a tube amp and what was somebody's like Axe Effects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to be able to be like, oh, it sounds so fucking obvious. And then lately I've been getting it wrong a lot of times. You know, like people are like, nah, man, it's a Kemper or something. I'm like, really?
Kemper was the first one to me that my friend got a Kemper, and we were sitting there and he's playing stuff at his house, and we're kind of rehearsing for whatnot, and he's playing, and I'm like, man, your amp sounds amazing. What is that? He goes, dude, it's a Kemper. And he just like pulls it up from behind him, and it's just this, you know, little head. He's just got it plugged into the sound system. And I'm like, yeah, what? I'm like, sorry, back up, explain. Yeah. And then he was explaining, you know, all the stuff, how he like mic'd up his amp and did the whole amp emulator. Is that what it is? Where you do the whole mic thing, and it sends the noise through it, and you can emulate your own amp. And so,
oh, that's so cool! I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you could do that with a Kemper. And so, it's.
I think it's called impulse response. Just in case we get anybody in the comments.
Okay.
Please correct me. If anybody in the comments knows the answer to that, please correct me, because I've only had a very limited experience with a Kemper.
It's called an impulse response.
Okay.
But anyway.
Whatever.
1985 amp.
Shut your mouth, TJ.
See, now I hope I'm kind of wrong, so that someone like reams me a new one in the comments.
Actually,
Zach, it's called
but
an impulsive repeater. I don't know.
I do want to say
Anyway.
that it is that they call it like simulation or emulation or something. It may be an impulse response thing, but I want to say that Kemper's thing is like being able to emulate the amp that you have, so you don't have to take it. All you have to do is take your amp head, just the Kemper.
Right.
Right on.
So
maybe I am wrong, and I apologize if I am.
Don't apologize. Stand firm. This is your 1985.
Dude, I always stand firm. Anyway, moving on. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. All right.
Before we go anywhere, I have a question for Joe. Joe,
Yeah,
do you know why most New Yorkers are atheist?
He's not from New York.
No. Do you know why most New Yorkers are atheist?
No.
Because they've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. It's Jersey.
Well,
Oh,
there
dude.
goes all of our listeners. And
I remember when
Including our guest.
When I would watch SNL as a kid, I used to love all the Jersey's like a piece of shit fucking jokes. And everybody in the audience, like some people would boo and shit. I'm like, no, that's funny. Because like, I mean,
it's
they're
true.
not completely wrong. Yeah,
Well,
Jersey has its moments.
I mean,
It has its moments.
there's gorgeous parts of Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And,
like the
yeah,
Jersey Shore?
Oh my God,
you
Zach.
beat me to it.
All right, so there's different Jersey Shores, right? There's the Jersey Shore, like the TV show, and then there's also the
Never
other
heard of
part
it.
where it's there's the other part that's like, oh shit, I fucked something up. Here we go. You guys, all right.
There we are.
There we go. Sorry. So, so then there's the other part that most of the Jersey Shore, dude, is like sleepy ass towns. It's all like family stuff. There's like a lot of rules too, like no booze on the beach, and no this, no that. There's no boardwalks, you know.
That beach sounds
So those-
horrible.
That's like I mean, I don't know. That's like usually the beaches I tend to go to because it's so quiet, dude. You just get to chill. There's no fucking noise. I don't know. When I go to the beach, I just want to be fucking just chilling, man. You know, the less people, the better.
I agree. I just, it's nice to have a nice crisp alcoholic beverage while walking the beach.
God, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm all about no people. I like them private beaches.
I like a couple of people. A couple of people's not bad.
Two's fine,
as long as
but
as long
any
as
more
there's,
than
like,
two.
space. Dude,
Well-
I used to have a private beach on when I was on tour. I rented this place that was like a steal of a place too. It shouldn't have been what it cost, right? And I had like a little fucking gate that I had like my little gate code, and I had my own private beach. And that's what I used to do every morning. I'd make my coffee, walk across the street, put the little code in, have a joint, maybe a cigarette, and just chill on the beach for a couple hours. And at the time, I was reading Motley Crue's "The Dirt."
Yeah.
So that's what I did for like every morning. Woke up.
Would you hate me if I said
Joke.
I enjoyed the movie?
No, I didn't. I actually still haven't seen it.
I really
haven't seen
enjoyed it.
I know. Yeah.
I know it gets a
I
lot of
gotta
crap,
check it out.
but
It's still,
I like
still
it.
haven't,
did,
I haven't
yeah,
seen it
it
either.
did.
So.
But
No.
everyone always says the book is better, and I'm sure it is.
Well,
But,
'cause there's things in the book that didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah.
So.
As a
Yeah,
friend.
well, I can't read the book in 2 hours. All right.
It's true.
I don't have a big attention span.
Get the
anyway,
audiobook. I don't know if that has an
Yeah.
audiobook. If Motley Crue didn't read their own book, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Morgan
Dude, I hope
Freeman
they
does
hired
it.
like
Well, yes, Morgan Freeman.
And Tommy Lee. Then.
I love it. Okay, can I shift gears here? I want to get back on the music side of things.
Yeah.
So, where did your musical journey start? I feel like I heard you say something earlier about marching band.
Oh yeah, I was definitely in marching band. Yeah.
What'd you play?
A snare drum.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was on
Yeah.
quads and bass drum.
Oh yeah, no shit. Oh, I loved quads. I was always very intimidated by quads, and I was like, people would be like, "You want to play quads?" I'm like, "No,
We're an intimidating
no,
people.
no. Let me stay on the snare because it's like it's a lot, man. Quads is a lot. I always thought the snare
Well,
was perfect.
I wouldn't
it's
have
hard
wanted to
enough.
carry them things around. They were heavy, man.
Not as
But so were the quads, man.
the snare. No snare. The quads weren't as heavy as bass drum 5, the real big bass drum.
Yeah, the real.
I had that one. I
Yeah.
went from bass drum 5 to bass drum 2 to quads. Needless to say, when I was 18 years old, my back was in shape.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because those drums weigh like anywhere between what, like 30
to 50 pounds, depending on the drum you
yeah,
carry.
something like that. Yeah,
Now,
and you gotta like march with the shit on. You gotta like.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember.
You know what I mean?
I remember one time when we were like warming up for one of the marching shows, and we're walking to the right outside the field, our entrance onto the field, and I didn't see a bench because I had the big bass drum on, and it caught me. It caught me like right on my shins, both of them, and I just go over the bass drum. It just kept roll. I rolled, I think, like twice over the bass drum.
oh Lord.
And
Shit, yeah.
my band director comes over to me and he's like, "Oh my God, is the bass drum okay?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
That
was my
sounds
band
like
director.
Vice.
That wasn't Vice, it was Mr.
Yeah.
D.
Ah.
No, Mr. Vice.
Well, that sounds like Mr. D too.
Mr. Vice came over and was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Get up."
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Bass drum 5 is easier than bass drum 2, correct?
Okay, yeah. In technical terms, yes, because usually you have bass drum 5 is on it's on the
A
down,
one?
is on the 1, or it's on a downbeat primarily. They weren't on the upbeats a whole lot, whereas
Yeah, right.
bass drum 2 is usually on an upbeat. So instead of being on
Yeah.
like here, 3, 4, we're like we're on that
Oh, Lord.
upbeat from everything, and so
Yeah.
that was one thing I did like about bass drum was I got really good at that, being able to separate, subdivide and do all that stuff, and like digga-doo, 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 that kind of stuff.
You're
And
right.
It helped with
yeah.
quads when you're going to and playing
That's
all 4 of them.
exactly, I played bass drum 4 before snare drum
Yeah.
for 1 year, and that's exactly what it did to me too. It like greatly improved my rhythm. Like I noticed I was a lot more locked in after just practicing for a whole season of having to subdivide, but only play the E and
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, while marching, which was like,
Did you
know.
did you ever the one thing that I had difficulty with when playing bass drum 2 was because my head puts it as my right hand is downbeats, and if we're playing 16th it's 1 and 2 and this is always the upbeat. So when when I was playing the upbeat, I kept playing with the left hand, and
Right.
and they're like, "No, your right hand's out. You need to play with
Yeah.
your right hand. That's what the audience is seeing." And I was
Yeah,
just like, "Crap,
right.
okay."
Yeah, our marching band we definitely had like the show thing. Like we didn't do traditional grip, right? Like we always thought of that as like real marching bands. Like, oh shit, they're playing fucking all this crazy shit with traditional grip. We were like allowed to do match grip on snare, but you could do traditional if you wanted to, but you couldn't have one guy do one and the other guy do the other.
Right.
Like it had to be the same, that was the only rule. With the bass drum, yeah, that wasn't as lenient. So that rule was definitely a lot more enforced, where like if you're showing them your right hand, like you need to be playing it with your right hand.
Yeah.
Even though you want to play it, you know what I mean? Like I remember getting yelled at more for that than other things.
I'm glad I'm not the only. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Well, this was also the time where when I was in marching band, I was also like drumming was the thing that I took lessons with, and it was the thing that I was formally musically educated with.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar, not really so much. Guitar was more of like a thing where I just wanted to have fun, man. Like that's it. Like I just wanted to play metal songs and like not have somebody tell me what to do all the time.
I mean,
and I kind of wanted the challenge of just figuring out itself.
Yeah.
Like
drums, you need to be formally educated on. Guitar, meh, not so much.
I mean,
I'm kidding. That's a joke to guitar players. I'm kidding.
No, I mean, it was just the way it worked out. I mean, the cool thing was I always used like all the shit that I learned in marching band, and I just applied it to guitar. So like,
Mhm.
and then I was like, all right, well, yeah. And
So
it's
would you
working.
say
So I just
that so marching band was your first introduction into music?
no. My first introduction into music, I got that Aerosmith record when I was like 5 years old. Get a Grip. Somebody gave me the cassette tape, and that was like my first favorite band. And I was like, I just wanted to be Joe Perry. I just thought Joe Perry was just fucking a god, you know.
Right
And
on.
then so I played guitar a little bit. I got music lessons here and there. Uh, and then after that, I just kind of took a big break. I did like normal shit, I guess you can call it. I played Little League and fucking whatever else, you know.
You were a
And
kid.
then, yeah, just being a kid. When I was around 9 or so, I started picking up drums and taking lessons with it. And then after a couple of months, that's when I started kind of working. Where my mom has a choir. She has like a Cuban choir in a church, right? And she's had the same people in this choir for like 40 years. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
And like, so when I was a little kid, she used to bring me to church, and it was like a Spanish mass, and she used to play piano and organ and have like maybe like a 10 to 15 piece choir behind her. And like that was like my every Sunday, that's what we did. My mom took me to church whether I wanted to or not. So then when I was there, I was kind of like, this is so fucking boring. And it's like, as a kid, you're in church, and it's like, you know what I mean? You hear the same stories in English, and now you're just hearing the same ones in Spanish.
Are
So
you
I'm like,
bilingual?
I used to be a lot more bilingual. I could speak Spanish a little bit, but not like people that are real Spanish speakers are like, they laugh at me. They're like, really? Wow.
Right on. Right on. Just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. So like, just to kind of give me something to do, I was like, let me learn drums, because then like I could come to this mass and like I won't be so fucking bored. Not that, because here's the other thing too, man, like, not to disrespect religion or anything like that, but when I was a kid, both my parents worked, so like I had to go to school at like 7:15 in the morning. School wouldn't open up until 8:45. So like, but there was nothing to do about it. They had to be at work, so they used to just drop me off at church. So like I would like sit through like a mass and a half from Monday to Friday. Okay.
Right on.
So it's like, that's
So
why
you're like
by the
really
time-
holy.
No, I'm not. But by the time Sunday came around, I was like, fuck, dude. I'm like, I already know. Well, I've heard everything already. Like, I get it, Like, like,
Tell
not
us
to
how
be
you really feel.
disrespectful, but it was like, I just felt like I need to be doing something,
Sure.
Like,
And that's when you started playing drums.
yeah, it wasn't like I was like anti-religion, really,
Sure.
Like, I just, not that I'm really all that religious now, but I was just, yeah, I just wanted to play drums. I just wanted to play live
Right on.
as a little kid. So that was my first technical gig. It was every Sunday. I was 9 years old,
Right on.
and I played 2 masses. And then instead of getting paid, I just kind of got like whatever I wanted. I'd be like, yeah, I want this video game system. She'd be like, all right. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
So
that was like, yeah.
right on, man. Well, so drums is what started you.
Mhm.
And then was it guitar all the way up until, or drums all the way up until high school?
No, the guitar came. I like how I just said guitar, because you just said it. I don't know why. I don't even say guitar. I say guitar, but you say guitar.
That's what I said.
And you just rubbed off on me.
Oh,
I just said guitar without even thinking
Better than
about
Git Fiddle.
hey, I'm so, everyone says I say guitar funny, and I'm,
it. Yeah.
You do.
No. That's like, yeah. I don't think it's
Huh.
funny. It's just a different way of saying it.
yeah, well, it's what it is.
Yeah, but I never said it that way, and I just thought it was interesting that for some reason I just
Hey,
did.
you are welcome,
Cool.
sir. Welcome
Yeah,
to
thanks.
Texas,
Thanks, man.
Nashville, and Las Vegas, apparently.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Oh, keep
so-
going.
Yeah, the guitar came like when I was around 11, right? And I got User Illusion 1, and like that just changed my world.
Wait. What did you get?
Use your
Use your
illusion.
Use Your Illusion 1
Guns N'
Okay,
Roses.
by
sorry.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
I was.
It's a little band out of California.
Yeah.
They had a couple.
I thought you were talking about a video game for a second. I was
No,
reading this and I heard it sounded like a video game title. Okay.
Yeah, it could be though. If you really think about it, why not?
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
So well, I'm trying to segue into the golf course. Oh
the golf,
shit!
yeah,
I just
yeah.
changed something. Hold please. Can you also see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you break?
Yeah, I can see you. You're good.
What'd you break?
We're back.
There
We're
we go.
back.
There
Dude,
we
I'll tell you
go.
what. Tonight has been filled with technical.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I did not think that I was gonna be able to like make everything work. I was just like, it's all falling to shit.
No, dude.
Yeah.
If we post about it, the show must go on.
No, I mean like I literally didn't think like I spilt water on the computer itself, so I was going like I think I just fried my hard
that's
drive.
brutal.
Like,
Yeah, dude, it's an Apple. Those things can swim.
Dude, I bring the bad luck everywhere. I told you. Like it started with me going, you got to go on Skype, and me being like, oh, why do I do Skype? Is that a website, right? And then they're like, you guys are like, no, you got to download it. So then I go on the thing, and it says the server's down, and you can't download it. And I'm like, motherfucker, here we go. And then all the shit that you guys happened shortly after that, you know. So like I told you, man, I bring the bad luck.
No,
I'm really
dude.
sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. This has been a lot of fun. Like I didn't know you were a band nerd, and I'm glad that Robin
yeah,
had
yeah.
somebody to
Nerd out
Totally
with.
bad nerd. I
to
love
nerd
it.
out with.
we
Well,
Um,
see, look, when I was in high school, like freshman year, you didn't have to do marching band, but if you wanted to be in like the big boy band, like the concert band, it was required that you did marching band.
did
So
y'all have
I
a
went
jazz
into
band?
it- Oh yeah.
Did you do that as
I
well?
I played guitar in it, but the only reason I got the audition is because I was literally the only guy that tried out for
Right.
guitar.
Okay, now was that your first? Was that your first like intro to jazz?
Yes, totally.
Okay, I think you're gonna relate with me on something. How
Okay.
fast did you figure out that the pentatonic scale does not work in jazz?
Yeah, I did. Well, it does if you move it around. You have to move it like a half step above something else. I forgot what it was, but like I think I knew it better at the time. I tried out for jazz band, and like I had all this fucking music in front of me for the first time, like all these like cymbals that at the time I was like, what the fuck is this? Right?
Dang.
And like I'm like, this isn't tabs. Fuck, right? So then my mom was like, you gotta go see this Cuban guy that I know, this guy Sergio. And Sergio's like a fucking badass jazz guitar player.
Sergio's the man.
Sergio's any guy named Sergio is always
Exactly.
gonna
I
fucking
feel like everyone
like,
needs a Sergio.
everybody does. Sergio fucking hooked me up, dude. He was like he pretty much gave me like jazz shortcut master classes. So that like, listen, like you're a rock player, but if you want to pretend that you're a jazz player, this is what you got to do.
Dude,
And that
I
was-
need
yeah.
that class.
You know, but like to be honest, I forgot. Ever since I graduated high school, I've never really been like Soul Juice does some light jazz, but I have to work harder at that, you know. Whereas like the rock stuff, just like that just flows right out of me.
That's probably where
But,
your heart's at. I know that's where mine's
Yeah,
at.
yeah. I mean, it is, but I feel like a little disconnected from a lot of the rock stuff, you know, especially in the last maybe since 2014 or so. There's a couple of rock bands I still follow. Like I still love Avenged Sevenfold. Those guys are fucking amazing. I still fucking love those guys. I will, anything they do, I'm gonna follow, and I'm probably gonna like it.
Absolutely.
It's just been
Dude,
that way for a while.
you posted a year or two ago. You did like it was just you in a dark room. You're smoking a cigarette, and you just shredded your ass off on an Avenged song. Which song was that? You know what I'm talking about?
I
I
think,
think I
it was
texted
Beast
you. I was
in-
like, bro,
yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think it was Beast and the Harlot.
golly.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll never forget when that came out. Because at the time, like, there was metal. I love bands like Killswitch Engage.
Yeah.
I love bands like remember Shadows Fall, Lamb of God. You know what I mean? That's when all that stuff was coming out, but there wasn't really a band like Sevenfold yet.
Sure.
And then they came out, and I was like, holy shit. This is everything that I love. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
Metallica, Guns N' Roses. It's things I love about Iron Maiden. You know what I mean? It's like
They took all the old
it's so
stuff
much.
and modernized it
Yes.
in their own way.
Yeah. And I remember telling people, I'm like, dude, you guys gotta fucking listen to this band. And like a lot of like the hardcore punk kids, like the emo-ish kind of kids were like, yeah, that band sucks. And I'm like, no. You guys aren't listening to this right. you know, like you gotta give it a chance, man. This shit's fucking good.
Yeah, it's too good, man. And I wish, please, I encourage you to post more videos. I'd love to see you shred some more.
I should, man. Yes, people keep saying like, yeah, the last videos I posted were just stuff like little guitar tutorial stuff that I was like, oh, you know, like mostly people ask me questions like, hey, I saw you play at this gig and you did some weird shit where like it looked like you were tapping, but you weren't really tapping. What were you doing there? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me make a video and I'll show you.
Right.
Like that's the latest. But yeah, you're right. I totally should do some.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I can't remember which song it is, and maybe if I still have it in our texts from a long time ago. So for those of you who don't know, I actually met Joe in Las Vegas, and I had gotten called to play bass actually. For the gig that he was doing at the time with the Bronx Wanderers. Can you let us know a little bit about what the Bronx Wanderers are?
Bronx is a family band that is pretty much like, I would say, one of the best in their circuit. With like, they're pretty much like a modernization of oldies music, but it's not specifically oldies. There's also a lot of new stuff that they do, and it's like, they're great, man. They can cover a lot of musical ground.
Absolutely.
My rig then was like, I was like, fuck, like I have to play anything between Bruno Mars, and then I thought I had it like where I had it dialed in just right, and then Big Vin, the boss, I remember he was like, because we were playing Johnny Be Good as like the big finale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he was like, dude, he's like, I want Johnny Be Good to sound like Eddie Van Halen is playing guitar on it. And I'm like, okay. And like the technical nerd side of me is like, well, I don't have a whammy bar, you know? And, and then like,
dude, you shredded it.
He's like, just fucking shred. He's like, I want you to just fucking shred. So then I was kind of like, all right, I need to like kind of adjust my gear a little bit so that I can cover like heavy shreddy stuff too. Not just like classic rock Johnny Be Good sounding stuff, you know.
Did you have a big pedal board, or did you?
No, it's surprisingly not as big as people would think. Like people would look. Well, my rig's pretty modest. It's like, it's a Gibson Explorer with EMGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which I used to get a lot of shit for playing in an oldies band with fucking EMG pickups.
Dude, okay, I gotta put this to bed. Like, people making fun of you for the gear you use, like if it sounds good, who cares? Yes, that's EMGs are. What's that?
That's the thing, is like it worked. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't sound like 100% authentic.
Sure.
But it gave it like energy. You know, like it gave it energy. Like,
yeah.
Like I'll never forget, dude, when everybody was like, oh man, like you're playing Uptown Funk and you have EMGs. Mm-hmm. Right? He's like, you can't play fucking funk guitar with EMGs.
Of course you
should
can.
be playing a fucking Strat. I'll never forget this. I'm playing a gig at the Hard Rock Cafe, opening up for the guy from 311.
In Las Vegas?
Nick Hexum?
Yeah. No, not Nick Hexum. It was the rapper dude, S.A. Martinez.
Yeah. I was like, what's his name?
He has a band called Los Stellarians. So Soul Juice opened up for them like 2019, I believe. And I remember one of the guitars they had was Prince's guitar, right? Guess what pickups he had? Take a wild fucking guess. Exactly. So like I remember taking a picture of it and being like, oh shit. Like, and I fucking like sent it to all the fucking people. I'm like, check it out, man. You were wrong.
I don't know. I think it's so immature and childish to give people crap for the gear. If it sounds good, It's
it
all
works,
in the
it works.
fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
So, sorry, I had to vent. I'm probably gonna get a bunch of backlash from that, but
I mean, there is that other side of it that I seem to be kind of going a little bit more into, like more of like the purist stuff, Shit, but I kind of do it just to kind of hang.
sure.
I
Look,
feel.
I will admit. So I left the active pickup game a while ago, uh, and the only reason is because I started playing more with the rolling the volume back,
Yeah,
and
right.
and on a active pickup, it's all or nothing. There's no in between.
Really,
But
dude, my guitar does just that. It cleans up beautifully. It's
really,
crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah,
what
yeah.
are you using 81s and 85s?
Just 81s.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it cleans up beautifully. Yeah. I mean, once you get past a certain game stage, it doesn't. You
sure.
know what I mean? It'll just shut off.
Sure.
But
I,
like,
you're killing my
but yeah.
point, man. You're
I'm sorry, but I mean, I don't. Maybe they're different. I don't know. I mean, I got them done when I was in high school. Maybe my guy did something different in the wiring. I don't know. I have no
Who
idea.
knows? All I know is I like the taper on a passive pickup, but I'll take
Yeah.
both. I don't care. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because
Yeah. Right.
99%
Yeah.
of the time I'm playing it balls to the wall anyway. Oh, see,
Right.
you're rubbing off on me. I said balls.
Balls. War. Yeah, it's like coffee.
Well, you did say water earlier in our
Yeah,
conversation.
Water. Yeah. Water. People are like, what? Yeah. I didn't notice how because like I mean here everybody talks like that. Then when I started touring, everyone's like, people in the Midwest are like, you talk funny. I'm like, what do you mean?
So do you.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, you talk funny. Hey.
What's a guitar?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of guitars, what was your first guitar?
Oh man, it was a my very first one or first electric. My very first guitar was like just like a really, really beat up classical guitar.
Right.
That was really small. It was like a really tiny classical guitar.
Same. It was
Yeah.
my sister's little mini classical guitar. And
Yeah,
then my grandpa
yeah.
got me a proper.
My grandma got me an electric. She got me a Squire Strat. Yeah.
Madone. Wait, what is it?
Madone. You gotta do that with your hands.
Which is
Madone.
like my brother, right?
It's like kind of being like Mother Mary. It's kind of like, I don't know. You kind of do it when it's like,
I don't know why my
I
hands
don't
are
know.
still up here.
Like, let's say like, your kid comes home. He's like, oh, Dad, I just fucking crashed the car. And you just go, Madone.
Righteous.
like
Okay,
that.
well then I used it in the wrong context. Then I'll just say
Yeah.
my brother. So your grandparents gave you your first electric as well. That's really
Yeah. And what's funny was my mom at the time was like, why are you doing this? Like, he's a drummer. Let him stick to drums. He's not going to do anything with it. He's going to play it for a week or two and then put it down. Like,
Wrong.
You're gonna see. Like, you're a fucking idiot for buying him a guitar. Like, but yeah. And that just kind of motivated me more. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you proved everyone wrong, dude. Because
Yeah,
I'm not blowing smoke up you. You really are a phenomenal picker, and it's an honor.
Thanks,
So
man.
yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So are you. You know what's hilarious about you is I remember after that Bronx gig that you subbed for, right? And we were in the dressing room, and I had no idea that you were fucking with me. You were like, yo, man, one of these days we got to get together. You got to teach me how to shred. And I was like, okay. Like, and then
No, I meant that from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, I would love to play like you.
Because when I saw your when I saw a video that you put, when you said that, I thought that you meant that you were like a rhythm player, and like I don't really like fuck around because there's guys like that. They're like, I just play rhythm, like I'm just want to be the best rhythm player I can.
Hi, Robin.
This guy right here. That's it. I just want to be a damn good rhythm player. Yeah. I don't want to care about lead.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and like so, like, yo, dude, when I met Zach, he was like, "Hey, you got to teach me how to shred," and I was like, "Yeah, man. Let's get together. We'll do something, you know." And then he posts a video of him just absolutely fucking shredding the shit out of something. And I remember watching it and being like, oh, okay. I'm like this fucking guy.
You're very kind. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
No, dude, you sound awesome.
Well,
You really do.
Bless you. Bless you. But enough about me. More about you.
All right.
DJ, you've been a little quiet tonight. What are you thinking? What is going through your head at this exact moment? Go.
I love Vegas.
I do love it.
Yeah, you had a pretty good time, huh?
It was a blast, I think.
What do you remember?
Yeah, from what?
I remember everything, but
Oh, that's
man,
good.
Vegas, you don't sleep in Vegas. Like,
I did. I slept great.
I did stay in a
Robin,
safe
you don't count. You have Nerf guns in the back of your room.
That is
Yeah.
4 weeks in a row now that you have brought it up first.
Touche.
So
I noticed those. Those look like bigger than what they look like in the shot.
oh,
But
they're
they'll-
big. They're like the red one comes up to about right here on me. They're big, and the blue one's like fully automatic. It's battery powered.
I love the
Holy
confidence you're
shit.
talking
Oh, yeah.
about this with.
Oh, I have a ton more in the closet. Like, yeah.
I was wondering what those were. I was
Nerf
like,
guns.
Are those like practice guns
No.
or something?
No, they're just
of
Nerf
some
guns.
kind? They're Nerf guns.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are probably illegal at most family parks, but
Nah. Only if you mod them.
you
Wait,
would
so
know
when you-
about modding. I'm sure
I
you
want to
can.
do it. I just don't. I don't have the time nor the money that I want to.
Hold on. You could mod that?
I've seen guys who have taken apart that blue one, and because it shoots basically like if you turn it on and you hold it down, it's like phew 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 phew, like that's about how fast it shoots. There's guys who have modded it to go through like the 50 drum mag, like phew, 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 and it shoots really hard. Like if you
Oh wow.
yeah, you can get it to shoot at a much higher rate. Yeah, it's like I have friends that did it, and I got welts from them shooting me with
Really?
the darts. Yeah. So,
Holy shit.
but
Man.
you have to have all the soldering tools and all of that kind of, and I don't want to spend the money on it. I'm just like, this is fun. I just think it's fun to collect them. And
I just
shoot
got
my
a,
girlfriend with them every once in
Do
a
you
while.
I
use
noticed-
them?
Every once, yeah, I haven't had a chance to really use them too much where I'm living right now because luckily I've been busy. So,
Yeah.
but no, my landlord wants to have a whole Nerf gun fight. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. Well,
Guys, I just
That's
got a
sweet.
notification from YouTube that 98% of the females watching this show just signed off.
well, that's funny because I haven't
Uh.
lost a single viewer on my end. Anyways, back to what we were-
It's yeah, it's a different message on YouTube. Like you can't see it on your screen, Robin. But
but yeah,
Zach and I have the notifications turned on.
before
The only 2% that remained are your parents and mine. So
Hey,
two
Lisa's
moms.
still here. Don't forget about Lisa.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 97% of the ladies left.
Yeah. I
Uh,
guess.
Have there
And
been any
like-
questions?
I don't know.
Robin?
I don't know if no, there haven't been any questions. But I don't know if Natasha's tuned in tonight. And I don't know if my girlfriend's tuned in tonight. And yeah, so
He actually just signed off.
no. she has texted me before and been like, "Do you really need to have those in the background still?" So
She's awesome.
I
love
don't know.
my girlfriend.
You talking about those mods, man?
But
That doesn't do it for her.
Those mods, man.
I do want to flip back over to the as my voice completely cracks, just sealing the point that those belong in the corner over there. I want to flip back to another thing. You mentioned you played mesas, and
Yeah.
I played mesa for a little bit. I've somehow, and I don't know how I did this, but I somehow have owned 7 different mesas in my life. I don't know how I did
Oh,
that,
nice.
but
Nice.
because I settled on a Vox AC30 hand wired. Like that's my amp.
Nice.
I love that amp. I don't want to change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you play? Have you ever modded your amp? And but
Mm-mm.
yeah, what's your go-to amp?
Go to Mesa
Yeah.
or go to amp in general?
Both.
I guess it depends on. I guess it depends on the gig. I mean, mostly what I play now is the people, this also blows people's minds, and because I tell them, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's like I play like the 50, what's it called? I don't
F50.
even fucking know the name of it.
The,
No,
the
I
Line
mean,
6 Spider.
it's it's the new. It used to be called the F50 way back when, and then they changed it to 550 Express or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Do you?
Yeah, dude, it's great.
Those are
It's
heavy
great.
little suckers.
They're very heavy.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so
The only thing I
surprised.
don't like about it, the only thing I don't like about it is that it's an open back.
Okay.
And a lot of times some sound guys will be like, dude, like, I don't want you fucking blaring out into the theater. Like, turn it around. And then when I turn it around, like, they're still not happy. You know what I mean?
It's
Oh,
physics,
yeah.
man.
The one that the
Yeah.
the one Mesa that I always loved, I think I loved more than all the other ones, was the Stiletto Ace.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. I've had that a couple of times on fly gigs. And, dude, that thing fucking cranks.
Yeah.
That thing fucking cranks.
And I had
The other one, too, I loved was the Lone Star.
Yeah, see, the Lone Star was. I had that one real briefly, and I think I traded that one for the Stiletto Ace.
Okay.
And primarily, I had no idea really what the Stiletto Ace was. First of all, let me rephrase all this. I had no idea what any of this crap did. I was really a drummer at that point, and somehow I was like, I need to have mesas. And I'm like,
I mean, yeah, a lot of people thought that.
But so I traded it for the Stiletto because the Stiletto had wheels on it, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to trade for an amp.
But then I ended up liking that amp a lot better. So. Yeah.
So what do you? That was. Thank you for going back to the gear, Robin. Because I had.
Yeah, it's definitely been mesas for me for quite a while.
So fly rigs is that usually
yeah.
what's on your rider? Do you just say a 212
Usually.
combo?
Yeah, anything with a master volume really is, I always thought, worked the best with, because fly gigs, I would just kind of bring my one guitar, and I would have it set up before I flew, sort of.
Were you an A440 for all these gigs? Or we all have step down?
No, A440, definitely.
Okay, right on.
The only time I've ever tuned down for a gig in the last like 5 or 6 years was we did Bronx Wanderers did a cover of, and we never did it ever, but it was a Van Halen song. Fuck, what was it? Dance the Night Away.
Sure.
Yeah, and that was
a
in
great
D.
guitar line.
We did that in D.
Tell me you used the drop pedal.
No, I learned everything in drop D. Because, I didn't have the space in the pedal board at the time.
So you just you dropped
relearned all the songs.
So I relearned that song.
Oh,
because I already knew how to play "Dance the Night Away," but in the Eddie Van Halen way.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, like I don't want to have to fucking have another guitar on a fly gig.
Sure.
And I also don't want to fucking do any disservice to Eddie Van Halen and play it like half-assed. So I was like, let me just kind of rework this.
Wow, dude, God bless you, man.
It wasn't that hard. It wasn't that bad. You just drop everything down.
Well, okay,
there's a couple of things that were, you have to.
But that means you had to play the solo a step down as well.
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not hearing the solo in my head right this second to Dance the Night Away.
Oh man, are you kidding me? The tapping.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't that bad. It was actually easier, I thought, because now you have a little bit more space. Like on the very last slide, when you do that, you don't really have too much. Like my guitar is 22 frets.
Sure.
So like when I got down to the very end, I would notice and plus it's an Explorer, so I don't really have like the room like the shredder guitars do that are like more of a scalloped cutaway, So like I remember going down for certain parts, like way down on the neck and like, or way up on the neck rather, and being like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck this up because it's way too up there, So like in a weird way, it made it a little bit easier because now I could play it cleanly, without really having to worry about hand cramping or any of that shit.
Well, the reason I feel for you is because when I was doing the Michael Jackson show in Vegas, it's one thing to learn the Beat It solo. It's another
Yes,
thing.
which you fucking killed, by the way. I saw a video of that. You fucking killed that.
Bless you.
Cheers
Thank
to
you.
you. Yeah,
Thank you,
that was
brother.
awesome.
I appreciate that.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say, it's one thing to learn that solo, but then to have to play it a step and a half
In
down.
front of, yeah, and in front of people.
Oh well, sure. Oh, don't get me started.
With fucking lights and shit. Sometimes cameras.
So okay, you know what? You can relate to this. Like, there's all these like people always send videos of people playing. Oh man, check this person shredding this song, blah blah blah, and that's awesome, and I think they're doing a great job. But it's like, it's totally different doing it in your bedroom than doing it live. Would you agree?
Very different. Absolutely. 100%. Like, dude, I agree with that 300%.
Thank you. Like, I would do
Very
anything for people to get. I wish I could play like I do in my bedroom on stage. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like, there's some times where you're like, I've been in positions where like I went to a show and I'm like, all right, let me like go over this little section. I fuck it up, right? And then I go home and I practice it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck this up ever again. And if anything, I'm just gonna make it awesome. Like, I'm gonna make this part dope, within reason. Obviously, you still gotta be tasteful to the song, but it's like I'm gonna make sure that I never fuck that one part up ever again. And then all of a sudden, you get like this fucking mental block. To now, all you do is fuck that part up for like 5 days straight. You know what I mean? You ever have that happen?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
More times than I care to admit. Yeah.
Dude, I'll never
voice crack, man.
That gets better. I always thought.
Bro, did you ever see Rock of Ages in Vegas?
No. Did I? I don't think so. No, I don't think I did. No.
Dude, I'll never forget. Shakino, yeah. Chris out of Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome dude, awesome guitar player. I subbed for him on Rock of Ages, and I'll never forget him telling me, he's like, "Look, dude, you're gonna be really tempted to look up during certain parts of the show. Trust me." And he was. There was a lot of pretty girls in the show. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm fine." He's like, "Just trust me, just look down." No, man, I'm good. Boy, was he right. I'll never forget the first time I played that. And I looked up, oh Lord, oh shit, I'm supposed to be playing something right here. So yes, you can practice all you want.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
the first time I feel like the one time that happened to me was a very, very important lesson in my career, because I had to sub for somebody in a burlesque show in Atlantic City, right?
Oh,
I love Atlantic City, by the way.
Atlantic City's fun, dude.
We played the Hard Rock.
There. That's yeah. Nice.
We were there for a week sit down with the Rock of Ages tour. The room was straight up baller, dude. Like, I felt like, I don't know it was. I'm trying to think. I'm not gonna say who first came to my head, but I felt like a badass. It was really cool. Awesome hotel.
The Hard Rock's dope. Yeah, AC's fun. It's like Vegas, but like a little smaller, or a lot smaller actually. But you have the beach. You have the beach there, which
the boardwalk
was really cool. The boardwalk, the beach, like you just chill. Like, I thought that was always really unique, But yeah, this one gig, I was like, this was the first time I ever played a gig and there was dancers on stage, and I was like, oh my god, this is like way back when I was like 24, maybe 24, 23, something like that. And I exactly that. I was like, dude, okay, I need to learn. Now I know that I need to learn to like stay focused.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just knew during those parts of the show, look down at your neck. Look down at your neck. Don't look up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
See, I had kind of the exact opposite, because I played in the pit bands for musical theater, and
Okay, yeah.
so what we had the exact opposite. Or for me, I had the exact opposite where I needed to pay attention to the stage and like what's actually going on stage. I started because it was always during these long, it was like 15-minute like there's no music,
Yeah.
there's just stuff going on stage.
Monologues.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I just remember one time I was like, okay, so it's like 20, or it's not 20, but it's like 15 minutes before in between the two songs. All I've got to pay attention to is I've just got to pay attention to when they start talking about this certain thing. So I
Right.
start reading a book. And I was reading a book, and I just all of a sudden I hear this, and the thunder, and I'm supposed to hit a timpani, and the thunder, and the guy just goes, "Hey."
He probably milked that forever.
He just sat there. He just turned around and goes, "Hey kid, where's my thunder?" And I was like, "Oh."
Did the crowd go wild?
No, they were like, I'm pretty sure if I didn't have like 2 more
Oh,
shows,
my
I would have gotten
God.
fired. They would have found somebody else.
Dude.
Like, yeah. Oh, they were mad.
That crowd.
Dude,
that crowd
okay, wait,
sucks.
so-
any
so
other
he-
crowd would have loved
Oh, I think the crowd probably laughed, but the all the performers on stage, the director, like nobody on stage thought it was funny. Everybody was like,
Well-
"Wow!" Like,
Dude, Broadway
Yeah.
and theater people take that stuff really
oh,
serious.
of course. But,
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. But
yeah, I think it's funny.
and if
now.
I was in the crowd, I would have like stood up for you.
Yeah. That's
Like,
that's
it's
what
fun.
I would have expected.
It's funny now to look back on
would.
it, but like at that point
Sure.
in time, I was like, I'm never gonna work in this town again, and I haven't. I've never played in Carville, Texas again.
Well,
Way to go,
you
way to go,
know,
Thunder Boy.
That's what they called me for the remainder of the show.
you know what?
I'm actually doing that pretty soon in April. I'm working. So my girlfriend is she's a dancer, choreographer, production assistant. She's directed shows before, and she's very in the musical theater world. She just started working for this theater, right, in Vineland, New Jersey, called the Landis, and their first like hard opening is American Idiot, the musical.
Oh dang!
So I'm pretty psyched for that. I gotta say,
Who's the
I went
drummer?
back and
Do you guys have all that?
Oh,
all that work?
my buddy Steve Dinola, yeah, we got the band all together yet. It's actually funny because a lot of the guys somehow, I don't know how this worked out, but these guys that I'm playing with in this like American Idiot band, or I've all worked with them when I used to work at School of Rock when I taught
Oh,
guitar
nice.
like years and years
Very
ago.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so like one guy playing bass used to be my boss, and the other guy playing drums, I used to fucking party with him nonstop.
Nice.
Dude, you're gonna have a blast, man. There's nothing
Yeah.
better than like getting a gig and finding out it's all your bros.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, I haven't played since March, dude. My last gig was like March 17th.
Oh, dude.
It's like I've never not worked this long. It's insane.
I've got my first like drumming gig besides Christmas Eve. I've got my first drumming gig on Friday, and I haven't played.
No, yeah.
I haven't really played the drums since March or April or something. Like when I practice. Dave Scher, if you're watching this, don't worry, I'm practicing. So,
Dude, speaking of Dave Scher, Joe, if you, I'll send you some links. Be sure to check out Dave Scher. He's kind of an Austin icon.
yeah, dude, he.
Uh,
you know who Eric?
Mad guitar player.
You know who Eric Johnson is, right?
Okay, cool. Of course, yeah.
So Eric took Dave on the road as his other guitar player. If that
Wow,
like
okay.
speaks
Rhythm
about
guitar
Dave.
and keys.
Yeah, he was playing the guitar
good
and the
gig.
keys, and that was a pretty interesting because we were playing. I was playing with him every like about 3 times a month, and then he kind of just told us, he's like, yeah guys, I'm not gonna be able to. He can be a very soft spoken person. He's just, yeah man, I'm not gonna be playing. I'm not gonna be playing the gig anymore. You know, we'll find somebody to take my spot, and we're just like, what's going on, man? What are you doing? And he goes, going on the road with Eric Johnson, and I'm just like, what?
Okay.
Understandable.
Which is like totally perfect for Dave because he's that caliber of a guitar player, and playing like a restaurant gig with him, I'm just going like, there were times when he would play something, I'm going, dude, I don't want to see you ever play in a restaurant, man. I want to see you like on a stage. Like, he's that kind of a person. Like, you deserve to be on a stage where everybody is looking at you, not eating their steak going,
right.
oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah. Dude, there's a couple of restaurant gigs I play in Vegas, and it's like, it totally is that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's cool, where sometimes you get like outside people, and then it's like, oh shit, what's going on here? And they all start dancing. And the next thing you know, it's a fucking party.
yeah.
Right. But some nights you have like nobody gives a shit. Everyone's just fucking like eating their dinners and looking up at you all pissed, like, I wanted to watch the game. Like, you know, like.
I'm still waiting for Eddie V's to open up in Vegas. I'm waiting for them to find a location. That's the restaurant that I kind of work with. And
What is it called?
It's called Eddie V's. And so
Eddie V's.
yeah, so
Cool.
we my parents book all their music for all across the country,
Okay.
and so Vegas is on their radar. They just haven't found the right place yet, but I'm excited to open that one because
Yeah, you definitely got to find the right place in Vegas. You don't
yeah.
want to be in the wrong place.
well, Eddie V's is really good at finding the right place. As Zach can tell you about their location in Nashville.
Yeah, dude, they're fixing to open up in Nashville, like right on Broadway. But believe it or not, the party scene in Nashville is called Broadway, and they're opening up an Eddie V's right there, and it's really exciting.
So I'll get to
That's
experience
nice.
Nashville, and hopefully Zach will be there to really show me around.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just need things to go back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Don't we all?
Absolutely.
Brutal.
Favorite club in Jersey, and I'm curious to
Club?
know your favorite club in Vegas.
Vegas, I would definitely say Vamped.
Fuck yeah. Oh shucks, that might have been my first F-bomb on the show, but that's how passionate I am about it. Dude, I love Vamps.
That place is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I live literally like 4 minutes away from it.
Dude, I cannot believe we didn't hang out. Like I lived
Me
maybe
neither. Yeah,
7 minutes from Vamp.
We were always talking about it. We were always planning on it. And it was tough back in the day though, because Bronx was 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And like I tried finding subs, and I found a couple of guys that were like, yeah, I could totally do it. I'll totally be your sub guy.
Who was subbing for you?
There's a couple of guys. I didn't have a sub. I just had people that I told to like kind of learn it. You know, like, hey, would you be interested in being my sub? But like anytime I wanted to take off, somebody was busy.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I never really had the opportunity to take a day off when I played that show.
Gotcha.
You know. So like me going out a lot of times wasn't really. I was just so like, I mean, I did it in the first maybe 6 months that I was there. I was like explored the town and went to a bunch of different places. But after it slowed down after that, and then like probably after like 10 months, around a year of playing 363 shows a year, like I was like, I'm not leaving my apartment.
I don't blame you, dude.
Damn, that makes
You know?
my fingers hurt just thinking about that.
Dude, my people think like, you know, a lot of the bartenders like, dude, I fucking work like fucking 10 hours, and it's like, how bad can it be? And it's like, dude, you don't realize it's a show. You know, you're putting on a show. It's a lot of energy you're releasing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it can be tiring. Plus, you got to do the choreography. You got to do jumps. You got to jump from one platform to the other. Like I remember after
Costume
10
changes.
months, costume changes, everything's like clockwork too. Like people don't realize, like, you know, people go to work and like, you know, you have like your rush or whatever you're doing, if you're doing beverage or food. But then a lot of, you know, when you're not busy, you're just fucking, like, I remember some of the bartenders, you're just like watching football games on their phones for like hours sometimes, you know what I mean? Maybe not hours, but like, yeah. So it was like, it's a different kind of hard work,
Yeah.
you know? Like all I remember was towards the end of it, just from working so much, the bottoms of my feet were literally fucking bruised because I had to do like big jumps from wearing like dress shoes too. Like they didn't have any, you know, you could buy all the cushion and support you want for them, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, it's just a piece of fucking wood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Dude,
it's like,
but it's
yeah,
worth it.
like, I loved it, man. I didn't mind it at all. And plus all that stuff, I found a way to circumvent it. You know, like I started taking like the CBD supplement stuff, you know,
Yeah.
getting better sleep, all that shit. Like no matter what hardship you find on the road, there's always a way around it. I've found, you know.
Absolutely,
So,
dude. Absolutely. Sorry if I seem a little scatterbrained. I just started bleeding. And,
Me too,
You're
actually.
bleeding.
Really?
Okay,
Why are you bleeding?
Both of you started kind of doing this stuff at the same time, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, are they
Yeah.
both okay?
Do you see that?
Yep.
That's blood.
I told you guys.
Hey.
I told you guys. I'm like the Omen. You like, look, all the technical difficulties you've had. Now you guys are fucking bleeding. Like,
Hey, at
I
least we
told you,
put
man.
our blood into this show, Robin. We put our blood.
Don't say I
into this
didn't
show.
warn you.
This is definitely a first, dude. Like, I'll sign this and send it to you as a memento because this is like my outline for the show, and there is definitely blood on it.
Sign it in the blood.
Yeah.
Like the
Damn,
Joey
dude.
Jordison. Remember the Joey Jordison signature sticks? They were signed in his like blood or whatever.
I don't remember that, but I do love Joey Jordison.
Yeah.
What is he doing now? Does anybody know?
He has a band, I think.
I know
He
he's
has a
got something
couple
else,
things
but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, I miss that guy. I really miss that guy.
Blue.
I love the new dude. Don't get me wrong.
Jay Weinberg.
Yeah. I'm more of a fan of him now than I used to be,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So
Like I put up the wall when he first joined. I was like, no, it's not Joey. No, I can't have this. You know.
So this will be a good segue into the Jersey music scene, because Jay Weinberg is the son of Max Weinberg, who is the drummer for Bruce Springsteen, who is
Right. Yeah.
the
absolutely.
Jersey
From
the
New
Jersey
Jersey.
hero. And so
Yeah.
So what of the bands that have come out of, I mean, New Jersey's put out some pretty legendary bands.
Oh, so yeah, totally.
And
I mean, Zach Wilde's from Jersey.
I was gonna
There you
say
go.
that. That is on my list of people to talk
Yeah.
about.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you've got Springsteen, you've got Bon Jovi,
You've got Bruce Willis.
yeah, you've got
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
is
Danny DeVito.
Am I
think,
crazy?
is from Jersey.
am I crazy or is Poison from Jersey? Am I wrong on
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania? Okay.
I think Pennsylvania. I think. So
Up-
I think
up there.
Pennsylvania was also
Up there.
Sebastian Bach, also, right? Wasn't he from Pennsylvania? I think. I don't know. I might be getting that wrong.
I know
Skid Row.
Cinderella was, and then I forgot if Skid Row was Pennsylvania or where they're from. I'd have to. I know it's a surprise,
think
guys,
they're
but I actually
from-
don't know that one.
What? What
Yeah.
you don't?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just know Bon Jovi lived next to I think Rachel Bolan, I think, or
Did he
Dave the
really?
Snake, Dave the Snake Sabo, I think.
Oh, okay.
David Spade.
And so it was gonna be it's gonna be him and Bon Jovi, like it wasn't gonna be Richie. And then after Bon Jovi got big with Richie, like he helped launch Cinderella and Skid Row, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Oh, all right. I always thought Richie was one of the most underrated guitar players.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And
Him?
Right?
Oh.
Satchel. Russ Parrish.
Satchel
Steel Panther?
from Steel Panther. Yeah. Oh, he's amazing, dude.
Bro.
I love his guitar playing.
There somewhere.
It's like perfect placement. That's always what I
Yes.
thought of it. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
there are videos of him on YouTube when he was like 19 years old at MIT or what GIT,
I
whatever
was
it's called.
GIT at that point in time.
Bro, he was a mad shredder back then. Now,
Really?
Well, that's
I
what
don't
that's
know
what
if this
Git
was-
turned out.
with shredders.
Yeah, well, and Poison actually in their initial, when they were looking for their guitar player, they put
Slash.
in their thing, in their wanted ad, no Git players, meaning no guitar,
GITs.
no Guitar Institute of Technology players, which is why CC
Yeah,
stands out
oh,
above
wow.
all those other bands. He stands out because he doesn't play like them. He plays differently.
Right.
So
Touche.
That's literally the reason. Well, not really the reason, but when I really kind of educated myself on the history of 80s metal, it got me to appreciate Slash a lot more.
mhm.
You know, not that I didn't appreciate him, because Slash is literally the reason I picked up a guitar when I was like 11. Like, I just, you know, like I got User Illusion and I just fucking fell in love with it, especially
The video
one
game, right?
dude. Yeah.
Someone doesn't make the Use Your Illusion video game, they're missing out on a lot of great money.
It's gonna be a double video game.
Yeah, it'll be a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that he was that dude that I was the first guy I kind of like picked up a guitar because of, and also later on I was kind of like listening back to it. I was like, this guy just has perfect placement. Like anything Slash plays, I always thought was like just so fitting for that moment in that music. You know what I mean? It's weird. It sounds like, you know, it's like you take it for granted, but I remember listening to some metal records back in the day where like, even when they were like at a certain bigger level, like I'd hear certain solos and I'd be like, this guy just sounds like he just learned the scale and doesn't stop playing up and down the scale.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it
Sure.
doesn't sound musical to me, you know? But yeah.
Well, Slash
know,
is definitely
kinda-
great at not doing that. You know, he definitely
Yeah.
makes it his own.
It's like, yeah, very, 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 very musical.
Have you ever learnt? And by the way, "Sweet Child of Mine" is
Best song ever.
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's
was,
one of them, definitely. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's TJ's favorite song. Where was it going? "Sweet Child of Mine." I know it is one of the most overplayed tunes as far as like the '80s cover scene goes.
Right. Totally.
But dude, have you ever broken that solo down and learnt it
Yeah.
note for note?
The only part that I was kind of like, fuck it, close enough, was right before the guitar solo.
Bro,
Yes.
it's like some
I
kind of
met-
weird Arabian.
I met one guy, and he's actually a fighter, but he plays guitar, but he's like a UFC fighter.
Sure.
And like, he was the only guy that I've ever heard play that. And I was like, that's it, dude. That is it. Note for fucking note. That is fucking it.
Dude.
And like, I just never, I don't know. I could play the rest of it note for note.
Sure. It's
Just
like a
not that
Middle
one.
Eastern, like it is not a normal scale.
It's not. And the thing that makes it hard is just the timing and just the
Yes.
way it moves is not what it's like, not within normal guitar thinking, I would
Of
think.
course.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dude. But see, we could go down another rabbit hole of, you know, that's Eddie as well. You know,
Right.
Eddie is
Oh,
one of the
totally.
hardest guitar players to, I don't want to use the word mimic because no one can mimic him, but it's a very hard guitar player to try to imitate because it's
Right.
not like the book. It's not like the scale.
right.
Not even close.
Right.
A lot of his solos
Yeah.
like don't make sense, but they work, which that's
Right.
about the only way you could describe it.
Because he was
And
classically
even
trained at
when
piano.
Right. Yeah.
but
I
still,
think that has
like-
a lot to do with it.
Like I just jumps always like my biggest example. Like I would not have thought of that solo, and then it's like it works, it's awesome, but it's like,
Dude,
who would have thought of that?
that's exactly what I was just thinking about. Was Jump.
Yeah.
The very last run, the fast run. That's
Right.
not even a scale. It's
Nope.
it's
It's just Eddie being Eddie.
Just a show
Right.
off.
Oh, you,
okay.
Sometimes
I
when
have not played this in like 5 years, but it's
Oh wait,
something.
this is another video I saw you play that I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Oh no,
like-
I've never done Jump live.
Oh,
I
no?
did.
But you didn't do it.
I did Beat It.
You didn't do it like a video, like not live, but like in your
No,
like somewhere
I've,
like in a room
I've
or something.
never done Jump
Oh,
on
shit,
video.
all right.
No, but like
Okay.
that last,
My
you
bad
know,
then.
that last run's like, you know, it makes no sense. But I really remember it being something. It's the exact same shape all the way down. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it okay? Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I don't freaking remember it. It's just it works. Is the point I'm trying to make.
Right. Yeah.
Do I look
There's
like a
so
fool
much-
right now?
No,
I feel-
not at all. There's so much nuance to his playing that it's like, even when you think you kind of have it, there's always something that like this is always what I think. Like when I try to learn Van Halen songs, this is like my thing. I think I have it like, oh, that sounds fucking dope. And then I play it back and I'm like, wow, I'm missing way more than I thought I was missing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like there's just more to it. And sometimes like you don't really know what that more to it is, really, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Very unorthodox, but beautiful. I mean,
Absolutely beautiful. Um,
Oh, and I did fact check, boys. Skid Row did start in New Jersey, and
really?
Dave Sabo was childhood friends with Bon Jovi in Bon Jovi
Okay.
briefly before getting replaced by Richie Sambora.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I did not know
Richie
Richie
Sambora-
wasn't the original.
Nope.
Yeah,
And
me
then
neither, yeah.
did you mention Russ Paris? Now that I'm thinking about it, it was in Fight with Rob Halford because I heard Halford and I heard Russ Paris, but I didn't know if we put the two together.
Hey, you know who I hung out with once or for a week? I remember he was like the guest counselor. I did School of Rock. I worked there for a while, and there was this thing called Metal Camp that they just started doing, and it was the very first year they did it. And he would just go up to like some campsite in upstate New York and like just play metal, and like you'd have like little bands of kids and shit, and like a bunch of teachers were counselors. Metal Mike from Halford's band was like
Really?
the main counselor. Yeah, that guy is awesome, dude. That guy is awesome. I've always heard him playing on record, but seeing him actually play it live, it's a little different. Like, it's better. I always thought. I was like, damn, you're fucking good. And he's also a giant. He's like fucking 6'6". He's like a fucking truck, this dude. You know? But yeah, I always thought that was pretty fun.
Metal Camp sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I want to
Yeah,
go
it
to
was
metal
cool.
camp.
yeah, I want to do that.
Sounds a lot better than fat
camp.
camp.
Although it looked pretty fun in the movie Heavyweights. If you guys,
Dude, I love that movie.
that's so great.
I don't know. Wait, what is Heavyweights? I feel like
It's
I
a-
know that, but I.
it's
Ben
a-
Stiller's in it.
Stiller.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a fat
movie from the
camp movie.
90s.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I don't watch too many movies. I watch like I'm the dude that watches a lot of movies over and over again. You know that dude?
Yep.
That's
You're
me.
that guy.
I'm that guy. I'll watch the same fucking movie a lot. For some
Okay.
reason.
Nothing wrong with that.
Have you seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're good then. We're
Yeah.
good. We can continue the
Officer
podcast.
Van Halen.
Have you watched the third one yet, boys?
No.
I haven't seen the second one.
The second
Sorry.
one, I saw bits and pieces of it a while ago, but
I just love that they challenge death to like random games. That's just the best thing to me.
Well, spoil it for Zach.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second
Spoil-
one.
It's spoiled on the back of the DVD if you read the.
No. That's
Well,
why
you know what?
just go
I'd
right
be
into it.
watching it on not a DVD, so I wouldn't have seen that anyway.
Yeah. See.
I'm
Do
not
you see
a
what I put up with?
DVD.
Do you see what I put up with on this?
So, Joe, how old were you when you knew?
When I knew what?
That music was your.
That's just what I have written down. How old were you when you knew?
An open-ended question.
Yeah. That I knew
When
that I
I
loved
knew.
pot? Man, I was like 16, 15.
7?
When I knew that I loved pot, that was like, I guess maybe 20, 21 or so, somewhere
Okay.
around then.
When did
smoked
you know
before it,
music was it?
Music, probably like in terms of like when did I know it's what I wanted to do for a living, or when did I
What?
know?
It's just like, when did you have that oh shit moment?
Probably the first time I was on stage in high school playing guitar, because it wasn't being on stage for church, where it's like people are going there not really to see you, you know, they're going there for the mass.
Sure.
But in high school, like I remember doing like a talent show, and I played. You know what I played, dude? It was fucking funny. Metallica did the Cunning Stunts DVD that was filmed in Texas too, right? Fort Worth. Jason Newsted had a bass solo in that DVD.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I learned as my very first like guitar performance.
Was
for
a bass
people.
solo.
Was a bass solo. But
Righteous.
I just played it on guitar. Yeah. And that's...
Did the crowd go wild?
Yeah, they loved it. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like,
Did
I think I
chicks
was in,
treat
like,
you different?
I wasn't in high school. I was in 7th grade, I think. Yeah.
Did tricks
Uh,
be different after that?
After I played guitar,
Yeah.
I thought they would, but they didn't.
They knew, don't date a musician.
So like, fuck this guy.
Right on. Hey, I wanna clear something up real quick. And I hope that you agree. So I also grew up in the church playing. I started in 8th grade playing in the Life Teen Band,
Cool.
and it's not necessarily the music that I do, but I grew up in a large church. Anywhere from 400 to 600 people every week,
Okay.
and
Wow,
and
that's a lot. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what that did was it gave me the stage confidence
Yes.
that being in front of people, because
Yeah.
it is different playing in front of people than playing in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so
Totally.
I am forever grateful for all those years of playing in church.
I think that's
Would you
Totally,
agree?
yeah. Would I agree that?
Would you agree that that it gave you the stage time and that confidence of being in front of people?
Totally.
Like, are you
And
grateful for it?
It gave me the. I'm definitely grateful. Absolutely. There was a time where I wasn't, because I was young and just a kid. And I was
Sure,
like, fuck, no,
but looking
fuck
back,
you,
are you
fuck
glad
you,
you did
meh,
it?
meh, meh. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, totally, totally. It got me. Not just it didn't just get my rocks off playing live for people, because that's like what I wanted to do, but it kind of motivated me, because there was two drummers. There was like the regular church drummer, and then there was me, who got the gig because my mom is the director, right? So it's like, when the older guy played, I noticed that a lot of the people in church would clap, right? And then when I
Meaning
played,
like on
like
the
they
one
would
and three.
applause. No. They would, after the song was over, they would like stand up and applaud and cheer, right?
But when you
And
played,
but when I played, yeah, it was a little different. Yeah, I was like, why is nobody fucking clapping, right?
dude, it screws with the psyche.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck this. Like, no, they're gonna fucking clap for me, Fuck this other guy, and that like that kind of lit a fire under my ass to like want to be a lot better, and not just want to be like, oh, I'm just gonna play these songs because I'm playing these songs, but like,
Sure.
let me fucking, I want to be like dope.
Now,
know?
did you earn the clap? That's how.
Eventually, yeah. I think I got like one or two, and then I was like, all right,
I
You
did.
got
I'm
the
out.
clap twice.
Peace. I'm out.
yeah, I'm gonna go play over here now.
See, I was the opposite. So I grew up playing in the churches, and when we would do it, they would not clap after we finished the song. Like, that was just normal. Like, so
Right.
So when I went out and played a bar for the first time, and we played a song and they clapped, I was like really weirded out. I was like,
Oh.
Really?
I was like, what's going on? So
Yeah,
even though I
yeah.
I had been to concerts and I knew that people did that, I had never like had that happen.
You never
So-
experienced it. That's probably one of the best. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the best feelings. Like when you fucking nail something, and everyone loses their shit over it. It's like, yeah, dude.
And
Here we
God
go.
bless both of y'all, especially you, Robin. Did you say you do restaurant gigs as well, Joe?
I'll do it. I mean, now with the COVID thing, I'll do any gig that comes
Sure.
out. Really.
But I
mean,
know I. Go ahead.
Yeah, I after Bronx, things were like a lot slower than I had hoped. Because like everywhere I tried to find a gig, it seemed like there was like 5 guys in front of me in line.
Sure.
Like I was a new guy in Vegas, and it's like everybody already had guys that they were going
Sure.
for. So like, I didn't get to where I wanted to quick enough. So then I was kind of like, I'm just gonna take whatever.
Sure. Sure.
So yeah,
But-
a couple of restaurant gigs would happen, but I noticed it was so different in Vegas than it was other restaurant gigs in other parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The reason I brought that up is because, like, Robin, the restaurant that he plays at is a very fancy.
It's like a
steak.
high end fish and steak.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like the cheapest tab kind of a thing walking out of there is usually, $150-$200 at like minimum, because everybody's getting wine and steak or fish or whatever, and
Right.
the point I was trying to make is going to be is he has told me in the past that, like, there's sometimes, like, people, there is no applause after the song, and that's
Oh,
got to mess with the psyche.
Yeah.
After
totally.
but after a while
Totally.
in that situation, you get used to it. Like, you just realize that what you're there for, you're not a show. Like, people aren't coming to the restaurant to see you. You are adding to the atmosphere of the restaurant. You are part of the brand. And once you put that in your head, you start playing differently, playing better, and your tips go up. Because the guys that I play with that took it as like a show, you ended up seeing that they didn't want them to come back. They were too loud a lot of times, and people people didn't tip because they couldn't enjoy their food. If they can't enjoy their
I'd
food,
probably get fired from that gig.
I think you'd be uncomfortable for about 2 or 3 gigs, but knowing you and your skill as a guitar player, you'd rise to the occasion. Because once you figure it out, it's actually a lot of fun to play those gigs. Because
It is.
There's like
they're
those,
very like they're almost like there's like no pressure really.
Yeah.
You know, like once you get yourself in that mindset of the no pressure, you know, whereas a production show, it's like there's pressure, and then there's people constantly reminding you that their money is invested and you better not fuck this up.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Eddie
like,
V's afforded me the first opportunity to really sing jazz standards and like play drums at the same time and do that kind of thing. Like, I had my own band. But
I was gonna ask you what kind of tunes you play at that gig.
It varies. It runs this gamut of jazz standards to Bruno Mars, but it's all got to be within. It's all got to be. Do you know the artist Jamie Cullum?
Yeah,
yeah,
of course, yeah.
So if Jamie
he did
Cullum,
a great cover of Angel by Hendrix.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, but
man.
I fucking love his cover.
But basically, if Jamie Cullum would do it, you can do it at Eddie V's. That's what we always say. So it's got to be that vibe.
Does he cover any Steel Panther songs?
No. No, he does not.
He should.
All right,
Although
well,
he should.
I
Because he's done some incredible covers of tunes and made them, like he did Rihanna's "Please Don't Stop the Music," and I love his cover of that song. I think he'd take a Steel Panther song and make it awesome as well.
He'd probably make it. Yeah, he'd probably make it to the point where you
want
to laugh at it.
Can't make it more awesome.
Yeah, like you want to laugh at it, but then you're just like, this is actually really good.
This is all right. Yeah.
He does a cover of Uptown Funk too. That's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
I liked his version of the Radiohead "High and Dry."
Yeah.
One of his earlier records. I remember. Yeah.
All right. I can see the eyes glazing over.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just trying to keep it moving along. What was the last movie you saw in movie theaters? The only reason I asked this is because I was thinking about it today, and I was like, well, I'm going to ask him anyway.
I think it was Joker.
Ooh, yeah. That may be the...
Yeah, and I remember walking out of it being like, wow.
What a joke.
That was
Sorry, I haven't seen it. I just
dude,
thought it was
so
good.
I loved it.
So,
oh my god.
Tell me if you got the same vibe as this. So I watched Joker. There's been several movies throughout my life that I've watched where I'm like, yep, that is a fantastic movie. I never need to see that again. Like,
I don't know about that, but
like, well, because Joker made me just uncomfortable, but in like a brilliantly written way. And so those like it hit me the same way that like Requiem for a Dream hit me. And
okay, I know exactly what you mean now. Yeah, totally.
And so it's like,
I got that from Requiem, but I didn't get it from Joker.
Okay.
Yeah. And
like I'd watch it with somebody, but
you know that
probably
movie
not going all the way.
Hostel. You know that shit.
Yeah.
Did you say Hostel?
Oh my god, I saw
yeah.
Hostel Part 2 and I'm just like, I'm good. I never need to see anything else.
Yeah.
I love a good effed up movie. I liked Hostel.
I loved it too. Don't get me wrong, but when I saw it, I was like, that was fucking awesome, but I don't know if I could watch this ever again. Like, there were parts of it where I was like, and I love horror movies. I've been watching horror movies since I was like 8.
And now I'm the freak for thinking it was a pretty good movie.
No,
dude,
I think that
it's still a great movie. I loved it.
I think it's a great
like,
horror film.
There's some parts. Yeah, it's like Halloween. When I saw Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, I was like, God damn, this is awesome. But there are parts on here that are so fucking brutal that I'm like, oh man, you know. I don't know if I could like have the guts to watch it again.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
We're probably gonna lose some fans on this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. So the kind of way y'all are describing Joker, Robin,
Yeah.
is kind of how I feel about Labyrinth. I'm glad I saw it, but I
okay.
don't need to
Yeah.
see it again.
Like
Or
Labyrinth.
Wizard of Oz.
Like Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because no, it's Pan's Labyrinth. I was thinking of like
Yeah,
dude,
the-
not
That's
even
a
in the
fucked up
same.
no, I know,
category,
but
bro.
they're both
Get it out of here. Get out of
they're
here
both
with that. No.
fantasy.
No.
Is anyone on the same page with me, or do y'all love that movie so much you could watch
Labyrinth
it?
is great. Come on, Goblin King.
I would
Come on.
say that Labyrinth and Wizard of Oz didn't make me feel uncomfortable. I think that Wizard of Oz to me represents the same thing that Star Wars represents, in the sense of like, if you look at when that movie was made, I mean, that's the pinnacle of technology at that point in time, of movie technology.
right,
That's the
yeah.
Wizard of Oz. And if you look at Star Wars like was the pinnacle of technology movie wise at that point in time. And
We're gonna have to watch it soon, buddy.
yeah, he's never seen Star Wars.
I can't believe you're even comparing Star Wars to Wizard of Oz of all people, Robin.
I mean, they're both quintessential
Bro,
classic.
don't be a hater. Come on.
Wait, who hasn't seen Star Wars?
Zach.
Really? You haven't seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
Any of them? None of them? Were you like
you know,
more of a
I
Star Trek
saw the fourth
guy?
one in middle school because we
Okay.
watched it on a pizza day.
No.
But it made zero sense to me. I'm like, what is
So,
that?
I've always-
That's a hard spot to jump into.
I've told him, I said, look, everybody
Yeah.
everybody should see in release order the first two Star Wars, the one from '77
Totally.
and the one from '80, like
Right.
because
Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
is one of my
you've got to see
favorite
you've got to
movies.
see A New Hope and you've got to see Empire Strikes Back, and if you don't like them
Yeah.
after that with those two movies, that's fine. But those two to me represent, I mean,
yeah.
so like if you want to understand movies today and like where the technology is today, you have to like those two movies got it here. So
Yeah.
uh,
I agree with that.
yeah,
I think
I think it's just
I
from a
don't
history
know
perspective.
too much about movie, like the sociological side of movies. I'm more like that with music, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
it sounds right.
mean,
Totally, you know.
yeah. I can get super nerdy about all of this kind of like this like, oh man, if you're gonna listen to this band and really be into this band, you need to go back and listen to this band. Like
Yeah,
I can
right,
get that way
right,
with
right,
music
right.
and
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
Righteous.
Yeah, you'll give it a shot. I think you'll like it.
Absolutely, man. I to be honest with you, I haven't really been watching any TV or movies lately. I've been pretty slammed.
yeah,
Uh,
well, it's good.
but
I hear you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a blessing. I'm not complaining at all.
No, that's usually how I operate. You know, which is why I watch the same movie over and over again, because I just know. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay. Well, and
Comfort, you know.
which leads me to my next question. What is your favorite movie of all time, and why is it Rockstar?
Rockstar's fucking cool, man. I
I
love
know that's
Rockstar.
why I said that.
And I was like,
It's okay.
I remember watching it first. And I was like, is that fucking Zach Wilde?
Yes.
And it was. Yeah.
I just always see Marky Mark. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I can't get it out of my head.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
Marky. Fuck. So favorite movie. That's tough, man. You know what movie rings out pretty hard? I really, really like, and a lot of people are like, really? That's your favorite movie? Lost in Translation. You ever see that?
That's
Really?
a solid movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill
Murray's
Murray and
best.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. A lot of people think it is a pretty slow movie, but like, I don't know. I always
It
say
also
that
has
to
the
you.
funniest scene of all time in it.
What when they do
The translation.
Yeah, yeah.
We she says, "Do it like this." Really? That's what she said.
That's all she said. Yeah.
And she just said like a 3-minute monologue.
Yeah. 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 A lot
yeah.
of people are like, "That's really your favorite movie." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I never really thought about like what my favorite movie should be. I guess, but like, yeah, I know. Every time either that or I really love Batman. That's like been like my
Which any of the Batmans or just
pretty much, except for like the the cheesier ones. Like the first two Tim Burton ones
Yeah.
are brilliant. The Chris Nolan ones are amazing. I didn't mind Ben Stiller, to be honest, or not Ben Stiller,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, Ben
Imagine
Stiller
Ben
was
I was like,
Batman?
really? Is there something I don't know?
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
I'm looking forward to the Robert Pattinson.
I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
how this is going
That
to turn
doesn't
out.
look too bad. Yeah.
Um,
But other than that, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of blanking on that right now.
I'm curious because there's
yeah.
another is Tim Burton doing it? There's another Batman in production right now, and Michael Keaton's
with
returning
Michael Keaton.
as Batman.
Right.
Batman.
Yeah, I read that.
Bad man. But yeah, so I'm curious about that one. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
And the music for all of those. I mean, Hans Zimmer's music in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, I thought was brilliant. And I kind of think like Hans Zimmer's real hit and miss with me. Like sometimes I'm like, this is fantastic, like Pirates of the Caribbean, and then other times I'm just like,
right,
like okay. But when he explained, like whenever the Joker's on screen and you hear the music, it's only the notes D and C for DC Comics.
Right.
And so yeah, it's only
wow.
DC that's like, and so he just kind of alternates between those two notes, but it's real subtle and you don't really pay attention to it because he's the master of
Plus
that atmospheric
it sounds like,
feel.
I love that behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was a really big fan of the first Batman with Michael Keaton, the soundtrack to that by Danny Elfman.
Yes.
Prince did. Prince also released a record with like back dances on that, right? No, but the the original score I thought was
Danny Elfman's
brilliant.
Oh man,
brilliant.
Yeah. He's
one of my top favorite records, believe it or not, is the original score for Batman. Definitely, like top 5.
Okay, speaking of top 5, and you don't have to answer it immediately. You can think about it over the course of the rest of this.
Jeez.
5 albums that you take to a desert island, and you can't use greatest hits or compilation albums. They have to be like an actual album.
And there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi, so you have 5 albums.
5 albums.
But apparently there's electricity on this island.
There's electricity.
No, there's just there's a record player and an infinite supply of batteries. So...
Oh, so it's a modded record player.
That's
You've never had a battery powered record? I have a battery powered record player.
I think I had one when I was younger. That
telling me it's
faintly
modded.
sounds a little familiar. Oh man, okay. Does it have to be in order?
No.
Or can it just be like 5?
Just 5 albums.
And Justice for All by Metallica.
Okay.
Yep.
The Great Southern Trendkill, Pantera.
Yeah.
The original Batman score. Do you guys ever hear Thrice?
Yes. Oh.
I was not expecting that. Like Image of the Invisible era?
No, before that.
Okay.
The Illusion of Safety.
Yes.
That record blew my fucking mind when I was a kid.
Little side note, I went to a concert of theirs, and in the middle of the concert, the lead singer, like I guess the lights were just hitting him in such a way he couldn't see his guitar when he would look down. They were like, I was like reflecting off this guitar, so he had to like have the side guy or the guy on the side come out and put tape on his guitar so he could actually see where he was. And while it was really weird, but while that was going on, the drummer, the bass player, the guitar player started playing like Take 5 by Dave Brubeck and like playing Take 5 and the audience, it was just like it's a jazz song in 5 and the audience was just like, what's happening? Like, what is this? Like,
dude, where did you see them at?
Like,
the old emos.
Playing it like.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I saw them at Stubbs. That's why I asked.
2009 or 10. Like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw them in like 2004.
Oh yeah, no. But this was the first time I'd seen him. Like, I just happened to go see him. My friend was like, I want to go see this. He loves the song Artist in the Ambulance, and he was like, I really just want to go see that. And I'm like, that's the sole reason you want to go. Like, they have so many other songs.
See one song.
Like,
yeah, you should really kind of
anyways,
dive into this.
so you said Thrice.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those records. Man, there's so many records though. This is really hard. And
one more.
I would say so many more. The only reason I'm saying this is because I feel like it has to be represented. but there's so many more like heavy records that I love too. But like this record is, if there's going to be a last one, this is, and it has to be this. OK Computer by Radiohead.
Okay. Interesting.
I think that is fucking a brilliant album.
Okay.
Brilliant from top to bottom. And you know what's weird is like, oh man, there's so many. Like, believe it or not, some early U2 stuff I love.
Yeah.
You know, as a heavy guitar dude, a lot of people don't think I would appreciate U2, but I do. They're cool.
What did you think of It Might Get Loud? Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the documentary?
The Dave Grohl.
No, so that's Dave Grohl's
no,
Sun
no,
City.
that's The Edge.
Yeah, The Edge,
Yes.
Jack White, and Jimmy Page.
Never saw it.
Oh,
Never
dude.
saw it.
Okay, if you do get a chance to watch this, Zach, you should do this too as a guitar player. TJ,
I haven't seen it.
Well, you have?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
so TJ, you should definitely watch this as well. All of you should watch this. I don't know why I listed you off individually. You should all just watch this film. It is really fascinating to see 3 different generations of guitar player and sit down in a room together and talk guitars, because you've got Jimmy Page, who's very like, take the guitar, plug it into the amp, just play the fucking guitar, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
but he's still, you know, he still had pedals, he still experimented with things, and you know, I mean, he experimented with delays and violin bows and all this stuff, and some of the most, while I'm not the biggest Led Zeppelin fan, some of the most captivating concert footage I've ever watched was watching old Led Zeppelin footage. I mean, those guys,
Totally.
I get why they are as big as they are. And
Wait, give me hold on a second. My headphones are gonna die here. I got a spare set. Like a boss. I'm sorry. Alrighty.
so
You guys hear me?
yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So but then you flash forward to The Edge, who is he's a good guitar player, but he definitely relies heavily on his electronics and all this kind of stuff. I mean, they always joke with U2 and say that there's a 5th member of the band, and that's the brain, as they call it, and that's
Right.
that's The Edge's rig. And
Yes. Yeah.
and so
Yeah, he travels with a lot, I hear.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
and then you move forward to Jack White, who is this very, like, again, he goes back to that whole thing of like, just take the guitar, plug it in the amp, and just play. Except he's just weird about it. Like, his style is just weird. But when Jimmy Page starts playing Kashmir, I think it's Kashmir, it's either Ramble On or Kashmir, you just see The Edge and Jack White just go.
Yeah, right.
And it's just this
right.
getting back to the basics of just playing guitar.
Yeah.
It's a really, really great.
They were probably like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy Page is showing us how to do this right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
That
That's
is
how I
definitely
would
on my
react,
list of
at
things I
least.
need to see.
So before you go back to Nashville,
yeah,
I'll bring it over.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to watch
Yeah.
it. Man, Joe, we may have to. I just looked at the time. We're already at 2 hours.
Oh,
we
and
may
my
have-
camera died. I just looked down and my camera died, so I'm frozen on a really great shot here.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
We may have to have you back on, because I just started thinking about it. We didn't even ask you, like, who's your favorite guitar players? Who are your heroes?
Oh, man.
Can
Yeah.
we just have like a speed round real quick? Because I also
Totally.
wanted
Totally,
to talk about the best things that came out of Jersey and why
Yeah,
you think
man.
it's the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how you gave me
Uh,
shit about that before the show. Like, don't mention that, man. Like, some people get offended, and you're the one
No.
doing it.
What? He was gonna name the
Hey.
episode Jersey Shore. That's totally different.
Robin, Zach just didn't want you to steal his thunder boy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? That wins the show right there. Touche.
let me get another beer for this one.
Man, I wish I had a fridge that was this close.
Favorite guitar players.
Like
How many do you
churros,
want? There's a lot. Like the guys that like change shit up for me, like
exactly.
completely.
Who
Let's see here.
shaped who you are?
And
And then I want to do a speed round of the best things that came out of Jersey.
I'm gonna
Okay, totally.
I'm gonna switch back to my other camera here. So anybody watching, I apologize for the visual that you're about to get, because this other camera is not flattering. Just saying.
I know, we've been looking at it.
I
all
know
night.
you guys have been looking at it. So
Dude, mine kind of sucks too. I've been looking like red. I look like a demon. I really don't look this red usually.
it's like my mic is like
He
in my
always looks this
face.
red.
Well, the first guy, definitely Slash, was like the guy that, like, I was like, this is fucking amazing. And it's actually the first time I ever listened to music and cried. Was listening to the solo in November Rain.
Ooh.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I ever teared up listening to music.
Solo's
was,
so good.
It's amazing, dude.
I can listen to it over and over and over.
Yeah, even to this day, I still get like, I'm like, God damn, this is so fucking beautiful. Like, I just can't hold myself back from like tearing up, you know?
It
like,
ties like the whole song together too.
Yeah, and even the end, like, just when you think it couldn't get any better, the ending part, the ending solo,
Yep.
right? And you're just like, holy shit. Like, that is so. The first half is so fucking beautiful, but the second half is so fucking rocking. It's like, I don't know. To me, that's like one of the perfect songs, like, ever.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially for how long it is.
Right, yeah. You don't get bored at all.
Nope.
There's never a part of that song where you're like, I wish they didn't repeat this, you know?
Yep.
Like, so yeah, there's definitely him. Dimebag Darrell, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of them. Zach Wilde.
Who's from Jersey?
Who's from Jersey? There's a bunch. I really like jazz players too. I like listening to some jazz players, like Joe Pass.
Oh man, I have a Joe Pass electric hollow body.
Oh yeah,
that Epiphone release. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I found a cheap
Oh,
one of those one time, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy this.
Nice. Yeah, those things supposedly sound good. I haven't played one, but I like listening to that. But I'm not really like, I don't know. It's more something to just kind of throw on and like kind of dissect. I don't really get like too emotional when I listen to jazz, really. You know.
Do you ever listen to
Sometimes I do.
Do you ever listen to old George Benson, like before?
Oh
yeah, before his pop stuff,
Mhm.
which is still great.
poppy stuff, yeah.
Great stuff, but
yeah. Oh yeah, like Breezin'.
oh yeah.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, I have not as much, but I've definitely. I don't know. I feel like at this point I've listened to so much, man. Like I even listen. You know who I really like too is Bjork, that's another one where people are like, really?
Loudest fucking concert. No. Second loudest concert I've ever been to.
Was Bjork?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Really? See, mine was Black Label Society. I thought I was like, this is so fucking loud. It's like amazing, but it also kind of hurts.
What's funny is that both the two loudest bands that I've ever seen were both Icelandic bands, Bjork and Sugaros.
Oh yeah, I know Sugaros.
Dude, it was like,
I didn't know. Yeah.
Holy crap! It got like Sugaros was the loudest concert I think I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, like it was one of those things where they got so, because they do that atmospheric stuff where it's this slow build in volume, and it got so loud at one point that I literally turned to my friend and I was like, I like got my phone out and typed, and I was like, you can't hear me, but I think I have to go outside. Like I can't, like it was so loud my ear plugs weren't doing anything.
Yeah,
like,
it hurts. It like literally fucking hurts. And like after that, you feel like all you hear is like, shh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hear like this staticky shit in your ears.
Yeah. Both were fantastic shows. Like,
yeah.
Bjork is.
Oh, that's awesome. I got to see Bjork live. I've never done that yet.
She's weird. She's interesting. It's I've had friends who had like, they've said that they had like out of body otherworldly experiences seeing Bjork live, kind of a thing. And like, I could see that. I'm not that big of a fan. Like, I respect her music. She's a little too weird for me. I just went because the girl that I was seeing at the time was like, she's going, I'm going. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
And
right.
put it on the list. Like, cool. I saw Bjork. Like, so.
That's a show I'd like to like probably.
And I
If
was
I'm
so
probably if I'm ever gonna do acid again,
Yeah.
I'd like to do it at a Bjork show. You know.
the bass player for Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians was him, and I had a long conversation about Bjork, and he was one of those who's like, dude, like just seeing her live was so musically mind blowing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can see how
I've
he
seen
would love
some
that.
videos. I've seen some videos of her, and I got that same kind of
Yeah.
feeling where I was, you know how like when you listen to music and it hits you so hard that you start laughing.
Yeah,
That ever happened to you? I got that from watching some Bjork videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I was
was,
like, man, this is so fucking good.
that was me with when I went and saw Billy Joel Elton John tour.
Oh, awesome!
And it was
Nice.
just like, you know, there just comes a point where you're just sitting there and it's like every song they're playing, I knew the words to it. And it's just a
Right,
point you're just
right.
laughing. You're like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. So
Nice. Huh. I'm trying to think of other guitar players. I mean, my dad always played, when I was growing up, he always had Hendrix playing. He always had The Who playing.
Oh, Pete
He always
Townsend.
had Kenny Wayne Shepherd was always playing in the house.
I never knew until recently that he doesn't sing.
No,
He'll sing
yes,
every once in a
yeah.
while, but he's not the one who sings mostly on
He's
his
not
stuff.
the
I was
main
like,
singer.
wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
Same thing with Ted Nugent.
He's cool. You know who I really like? I really like John Mayer as a guitar player.
He's
Yes.
very good.
Yes, I like him a lot.
His trio album, John Mayer trio with
Oh,
him,
yeah.
Pino
Yeah,
Palladino,
yeah.
and
Yeah, and Steve
Steve Jordan.
Yeah. Killer. Yeah, absolutely. Steve Jordan's he's so good,
Dude.
dude. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. Steve Jordan's my hero, man. As a drummer, like I was like all
That's
about
a-
Mike Portnoy and Neil Peart and all that kind of drumming, and then my band
yeah.
director was like, "Here's Steve Jordan," and I'm like, "Forget these other guys. Who is this?"
Right. Yeah, it's like a different kind. You know, it's like one of my top guitar players. This is unorthodox for like a shredder guitar player. I guess that's what you would call me, right?
Zach, how would
Yes,
you label him?
yes.
Okay.
I guess, right?
Well, you know, I just label you as an all-around great guitar player. I
Thanks,
think you're very
thanks.
versatile and
yeah,
you can
I'm
do
not, I'm
a
definitely
little bit of
not
all.
just a shredder. You know.
I mean,
but,
to
like,
play the music that you've been saying, like to play in the Bronx Wanderers and all that kind, you have to be a versatile guitar player.
Of course.
Yeah,
So-
I'm kind of like a guitar chameleon. I'm also like the Madonna of guitar players. I think I'm always like changing my look, and you know, I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, dude, I was
get
expecting you
bored.
to have your
Yeah.
hair down tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
used
have
to
a
you with long
goatee
hair.
and shit. I wanted to feel more goatish.
Greatest of all
Uh,
time.
So,
Okay, sorry.
no, but you know who I really love is Wes Borland, Limp Bizkit. I'm not really a big Limp Bizkit fan, but I love Wes Borland, and I'll listen to Limp Bizkit because of Wes Borland.
Huh.
Yeah, and I like his solo stuff that he puts out. He puts out a whole array of different kinds of music that's usually pretty killer.
Do you like
In
Ben
a
Kinney?
different. Who?
Ben Kinney.
Who's that?
He plays bass for
That's-
Incubus, but he also plays guitar. He's
Oh.
a multi-instrumentalist, but he's always putting out other stuff as well. But I know he can play.
Okay,
I know he's a
no.
really, really good guitar player as well. So,
No, I haven't really gotten into
Okay.
him. I like Incubus stuff, definitely.
yeah.
You know, but I remember their old bass player, Dirk Lance.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
I took an audition in LA in the room that they wrote either Make Yourself or Morning View.
Oh yeah.
It was really weird to like take this audition and then walk out and the guy's like, you know, I'm talking to the owner of the rehearsal space and he's just like, yeah man, that's the room where they wrote one of those two albums. I can't remember which. And I'm just
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, thank you for telling me that afterwards because I would have just shit the bed. Like had I been in there
Yeah,
and been
right,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, they stood in here. I'd be like, "Ah."
Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's a lot more guitar players. I really like. There's a band called Big Wreck that I really like. Vin from Bronx turned me on. You know Big Wreck?
Ian Thornley, man.
Ian Thornton. Yeah,
Holy
he's fucking
shit.
amazing. That guy.
Amazing
Yeah.
singer too.
Yes.
So I read a
totally.
story somewhere that it was either before Scott Weiland or in between the two albums when Scott was like being all weird and not showing up on time and all this kind of stuff. But they brought in Ian Thornley to audition for to be the singer of Velvet Revolver, and he turned it down because they wouldn't let him play guitar. They said, "No, we just want you as the singer," and it's like,
oh wow,
yeah. And he's like, "Nah, man, I gotta play guitar," because it's like he would, between the three of them, between Slash, Izzy, and him, it's like, dude, you should have let him play guitar. That would have been amazing.
That would have been a flavor that.
But at the same time, I don't know if him and Slash would have mixed style wise. They're so.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I think of is like it could be a little too different. Maybe, I don't know. That's the one thing I liked about Velvet Revolver was that they had Slash and then they had the guy. What was his name? Dave Kushner, right?
I thought it was Izzy Stradlin on guitar.
He started with them and then he left, or it just didn't work out with it. And then they got one of Duff's friends, Dave Kushner, and that guy was more of like his parts were a lot more like effects based.
Okay.
And it was a really good marriage, I thought, between Slash and
their second album, because I'm guessing that Izzy was on the first one and then he left by the second.
Same guy.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was Izzy.
I think what Izzy did with them is he was gonna join them at first, and they did one of the first shows they did together was with Izzy. It was like some kind of benefit show.
Yeah.
I think I could be getting my facts wrong, but yeah, because I mean the whole thing with Slash and Izzy was just how well they complemented each other.
It was basically Guns N' Roses with a new lead singer.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then plus the other dude. I think he was in a band called Loaded, or maybe that was Duff's band.
Duff's band's called Loaded.
Duff's band. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So I think maybe he toured with them at some point, and that's how they knew each other. But something like that. I don't know.
Now I'm just like super. Now I'm super curious.
I don't remember Izzy being in Velvet, like on any of the albums or anything.
I pretty much listen to a lot of guitar players at this point in like life, I guess. Anybody that just kind of does it for me, anybody that I think has something interesting to say. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
How do you feel about Vito Bratta?
Vito Bratta, the Italian stallion. Yeah. Oh, he's great, man. Yeah. White Lion, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's TJ's favorite.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
He's fucking awesome, man. You know who I started getting into, and everybody was always saying like, you got to check this guy out. Nuno Bettencourt.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Fucking awesome guitar player.
I think that's one of the most underrated guitar players on the planet. I think it's absolutely
very sexy
fantastic.
Individual. Very sexy.
Very handsome man. Absolutely.
Top 5 favorite guitar players for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes Joe Bonasorte and
yeah, man.
Well, this has been great, guys. I think we're just gonna have to have you back on. I did not expect this to go this long.
Yeah,
I told you it'd be a long one last night. I told you.
You told me it was gonna be at least 69 minutes.
Yeah, well, we passed that about 69 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ow!
So, man, Joe, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me.
It
was fun.
Absolutely, brother. I'd love to get you back on for a gear talk, or a New Jersey talk. Like we could probably do an episode just on Jersey.
Probably, yeah. I could talk all night, man.
Hey, well, you are always welcome here. You are family. For everyone who tuned in, thank you so much for being here. We hope to see you next week. God bless you. Enjoy your week, TJ.
Hey, well, I did a little too much research on New Jersey for this show. So I'm gonna throw this out there. Air conditioning and bubble wrap comes from New Jersey. Just a little FYI.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, there you go.
And so does Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. That's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I knew I was missing something.
Yeah. Whitney Houston too.
Oh yeah.
And then I had to ask Joe, what is a Taylor ham or pork roll, egg and cheese, and which way do you say it, or is there a difference, or have you had one?
If you're in South Jersey, you say pork roll. Pork roll's like the Philly, South Jersey kind of. So South Jersey, Jersey's divided. So you have it's North Jersey, which kind of identifies as more New Yorker or New Yorkers,
Gotcha.
right? And then the South side of Philly is more of like Philly, or South side of Jersey. I mean, is more Philly. I've been drinking a good amount.
That's all right. I just saw the sandwich, and apparently it's a big deal. I'm like, now I want.
Yeah,
one.
so it's the same exact product. They just call it different names. So if you're in
What
South
is a
Jersey,
pork roll?
it's just Taylor ham, or like I guess another name is Canadian bacon.
Okay.
It's like a little ham fillet.
A ham sandwich?
Yeah,
Ham
it's like
sandwich?
you know how when you go to McDonald's, you get an egg McMuffin and it has a little ham thing on it, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
go to
Yes.
McDonald's, but
You're missing out some days. Like it's not good for you, but it's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta drink the water, man. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
okay, well, off you go.
But yeah, yeah. Well, I was just curious about that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, Joe. It's been awesome. Thanks
Thank
for
you
sticking with
guys
us
again.
for the entire time. Love you all. Over to you, Robin.
Joe, this was fun. I loved nerding out with you about all this different
Yeah,
stuff.
totally,
I
man.
really look
yeah,
forward
this
to
is a good.
really
This is a good hang.
look forward to having you back on and nerding out some more. And I love when watching the other guy's eyes just kind of go, okay, here he goes again on the nerd rant.
These
All right.
fucking nerds.
But yeah, we'll look forward to having you back on, and we'll do that. We'll do that sooner than later. And
Awesome.
if you weren't here earlier in the show, for those of you wondering, yes, those are fully automatic. There's a fully automatic Nerf gun in the corner.
For
And
none of you wondering.
for everybody wondering. Yeah, so I guess we'll see everybody next week. Class dismissed.
Is this thing still on?
Can you attempt to play the jump thing again? I just want to hear you try it again.
Wait, no, that's Panama.
Yep.
I know jump. I know it. I just haven't played it in 5 years.
Dude, I gotta get a fucking Floyd, man. I got this strat. That I just got,
Yeah.
and like I'm dying to get EMGs on it. I'm gonna do the white 81 and the single coil EMGs, and then I'm gonna do I want to get an original Floyd. That'll be
Do
my
it.
first Floyd ever. I've never had
Oh,
a guitar
that's
with a
good.
Floyd.
Once you go Floyd, I mean, I hardtail is awesome, but Floyds are fun, man, because you can
Yeah.
you can do fun stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And not have it get knocked out of tune every fucking 2 seconds.
Touche.
Touche.
You know.
Right out, and I'm gonna try to end this thing. Here we go. Is it over?
Okay, now I've pressed finish.
Okay.